What if, like, the hobbits, like Mary or something, like, they went out and they're like, mushrooms! And then a ring wraith descends on them. Do you think they would give them, a fine burial? They're like, you led the ring wraiths right to us, you stupid fat hobbit. Yeah. Here's, a Viking funeral.
Yeah.
It was so bad to hear the mushrooms!
Good hobbit voice.
They just... Yeah.
Wow.
Hello, and welcome all to MultiTap Theatre. The following is an entertainment show with special focus on the modern and retro gaming eras. Explicit language and content is utilized for emphasis and flourish, so please monitor children's listening. The hosts welcome all audiences and encourage audience participation in most forms. Any visual or oral resemblance to any person living, famous, or deceased is strictly, purposeful. And now, for your listening pleasure, MultiTap Theatre, podcast.
I realized we didn't do intro.
Oh, yes. Who are we? Yeah.
We've been talking forever and I'll be like,
add that in later.
yeah, so we'll have to do that.
That's
And then,
what well, we talked about it. I was like, well, should we make a survey where we all answer the questions? And then I think we went on tangent.
yeah,
Never revisited
Tangent
that.
Town.
That's okay. I don't care. But
You can say, you gotta have like a criteria, like who you are, what you like, who do you kill.
What do you do?
yeah.
Who do you marry?
Mm-hmm.
Hagar.
Matter. You'll be safe.
Right.
Dragon
And
every
it's a little,
you.
it's a little sexy. The embrace.
He rocks the one suspender, which is an interesting
Caterpillar
the
mustache.
The sash spender.
It's Sash Spender.
It's weird.
So
It's an interesting stylistic
fashion,
Hey, Sash.
Fashion
Yeah,
forward.
It's fashionable. Yeah.
Yeah.
fashion forward. He has
Okay.
one like 70s porn stash.
He'll pile drive you.
He'll pile drive
He
you,
will.
which I mean,
Pile drive, yeah.
that could or could not be impeding. Depending
Do we
on
have to
what you're into.
rationalize
appealing.
why we're marrying this person?
I don't think
I
we
don't
should
think
do
so.
the marry
Okay.
thing after going through the Hagar marriage.
Like, that's a terrible.
I think we should do something else.
Okay.
Well, we kind of did the Super Nintendo thing. You can add, like,
Such a well-utilized system.
they had everything.
That's for another debate. It's gonna be
That
That's gonna be a
is.
discussion.
We're gonna have a whole Super Nintendo podcast for.
We
I
can
think
have
that
like
might-
weeks of podcasts.
That one might
We can have
be.
genres of.
That one
Super
might
Nintendo.
warrant guests. I think we gotta pull some people in on that one and
Let's
have
do
like
it.
a freaking
Roundtable. discussion.
yeah about.
Just go.
We gotta take sides.
You know
gotta
what we can do
hash
with
it
that?
out.
I don't know. We can have a lot of discussion about Super Nintendo.
Fair enough.
Huge discussion.
We can just reminisce. We don't even have to like
Have a structure.
fight about
What's
it.
a better
yeah.
game? Give me an answer.
No, but what wins? There has to be.
Has to
There has to be a winner.
Winner?
Someone has to be involved.
Well, because I have
We
a
all
problem
win
because
because
Final,
the Super Nintendo existed.
Final Fight has.
Are we picking the best game on Super Nintendo? Is what you're saying, or just for that year?
just
Or
Goodness, that's
Chrono
a
Trigger's
difficult
good, but-
one.
What's the best game on Super Nintendo?
Chrono Trigger.
Solid answer. Not right, but solid.
Sure.
Oh girl.
Oh, girl.
It is on.
No, Chrono Trigger's totally up there.
Yeah.
It is up there.
Yeah. See, Chrono Trigger's number 1, and then all of my second, third, fourth, fifth, they're all kind of on the same.
I
Yeah,
haven't-
but Chrono Trigger just rises
It's a
above.
lovely plateau with a flag posted on it that says Chrono Trigger.
Exactly.
Chrono Trigger's
exactly.
like totally like a perfect game.
It pretty much is, the perfect.
It's fair Super Nintendo game. Justin.
I'm gonna say Mario RPG. Super Mario
There
RPG.
you go.
Okay.
Another Squaresoft RPG.
So good. That's like my favorite game. That's one I will play. If I had to go on a desert island, I had to have one game
Super Mario RPG.
on what I could hook up to a coconut tree.
Yeah.
Coconut
Super
tree.
Mario RPG.
High def
Every
coconut TV.
day.
Yeah.
Every time.
Aaron.
That's rough. I think
Aaron, do it.
it's if I had to have one or like definitely what I played the most of, probably Mega Man X2.
2, huh?
Actually.
Oh.
Because when it had a
Oh,
part
man.
in my childhood. I always, as a kid, okay, here I go. Did not experience the sequels as often as I wanted to. In like Turtles 2, I owned Ninja Turtles on VHS. I did not have Turtles 2, and Turtles 2 added Toka and Razar, and there was like that Asian kid and like Super Shredder. That's so cool. I never get to watch this
Super
fucking
Shredder.
movie. That one is so much cooler. And Gremlins, I owned that movie. Gremlins 2, there's an electric gremlin, there's a gargoyle gremlin, a smart gremlin, and a spider gremlin strike. I'm like, holy shit, Gremlins 2 is way better. As a kid, I had Mega Man X at my neighbor's house that I went to all the time, played Super Nintendo, played it like constantly. We rented X2 one time, and I'm like, holy crap, you get to ride a hover bike, you get like bigger armors, and you can charge your Buster Extra Super. You get to dash in the air. This is way better. That's why I say Mega Man X2.
That's cool. That's
Nostalgia goggles, I guess.
logical.
Probably X would be better choice.
X.
But
X is my favorite Mega Man X game for sure. X2 is super
My
close.
favorite Mega Man X game.
Dude, there's a lot of X games.
Is it not your favorite Mega Man game?
No.
Okay.
But-
Do you have that one picked up?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
What's your favorite Mega Man game?
2.
2 is my second favorite. 3 is my favorite, though.
3.
You
get to slide.
Interesting.
I
That
love
is an
3.
interesting-
2's got
It's
Bubble
the
Man.
music. 2's got
Three
Bubble
one
Man.
with
Got Bubble Man. And 2's music.
3 has Rush.
Yeah.
Every Mega Man, you'd be like, the music.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, music is
3,
a topic I
Snake
want.
Man's fucking
That's on there.
level pleases
Yeah.
me, but
Magnet Man gets me, Needle Man gets me, Gemini Man.
so much getting.
So much
got
getting.
So much getting.
My favorite Super Nintendo game, though, Chrono Trigger's up there, but it's Super Metroid.
Oh, I love. See, that one is like
yeah.
so close to being number 1. for
Yeah,
me.
that's the way it is. It's Chrono
Oh.
Trigger
So
2.
Chrono
I
Trigger
know.
and Metroid for you. Super Metroid.
Yeah, but see, Super
And you as
Metroid,
well?
like, yeah.
Chrono Trigger's top 5 for me, but I don't know. I think Mega Man X is probably my number 2. Final Fantasy 3, Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
It was between that for me, Final Fantasy 3 and Mario RPG.
The Super Mario RPG is up there too, but Super Metroid to me is is my favorite game, like hands down, ever. Really, like top game for me, Super Metroid.
It is
So
one of the
good.
games that helps define the Metroidvania genre.
I think it defines its influence is still felt in games like the modern Castlevania.
I have to
Completely, most indie
ask you,
games.
how do you feel about 2D Metroid versus 3D Metroid? Are you cool with like the Prime series?
I'm cool with the Prime series, but it's not my preference.
Yeah,
The-
I really don't like it. I just didn't make the transition to 3D
I
for
was
any of the games.
so
very
skeptical. I'm the type of person where I have franchises that I adore and I grew up with, and I want more of that. Like I want more 2D Mega Man. I want more 2D Metroid. So then when Metroid Prime is coming out, not only did they say Nintendo's not developing it, it's Retro, it's a Texas-based studio, Retro, and it's not going to be a 2D side-scrolling Metroid game. It's going to be a fucking first-person shooter. I was literally at I was so pissed.
So that initial
Samesies.
news made you.
Yeah, they literally
You didn't
did.
think they could pull it off?
No, because they literally did the exact worst case scenario for me. They said new Metroid game's coming out, but it's literally. I mean,
Not
the only way it
anything
could have
you
been
want.
worse than a first-person shooter for me would have been if they said it's like a sports game.
Yeah.
Like a strategy.
Metroid
Yeah,
sports.
it's like
Like-
Metroid Cross Madden, and then
Deploy
I'd be
your
more
space
serious.
pirates and then like.
Oh, that's funny.
But no, when I played it, I bought it, I played it, and I totally feel like Prime pulled it off. Like they managed to make a first-person game feel like a Metroid game to me. There's still exploration, there's still abilities getting, and there's still boss fights. It was still really good. It wasn't.
I love abilities getting.
Abilities.
Very
abilities
happy.
get.
So what about like the Castlevania transition? Did you feel the same way? Like
Yeah,
you
so
thought they all
Castlevania
did?
is the same way. It's a little bit like I don't think the 3D Castlevanias are that well. That's not. I really do enjoy the 3D Castlevanias. Lament of Innocence. I
that
think
was good.
a lot of people hate on that game. I think Lament of Innocence was awesome.
I thought it was good.
Curse of Darkness I thought was good too. Lords of Shadow more recently totally surprised me because I hated that game at first. Like I did not like the way it played. I didn't like its concept because it was again made by it wasn't made by the Castlevania team. It's made by Mercury Steam. They're a European company, and so you tell me it's the same thing with Devil May Cry, which is another topic. But you tell me here's a historic franchise that you've loved, Chris, and we're not making it. We're giving it to a company that you've never heard of. They're going to continue the legacy of the series that you've held so close to your heart, and they're going to change things up. It's going to be 3D. It's no longer going to be about. Well, they integrated it into the storyline, but you know, Castlevania Lords of Shadow wasn't even like a Castlevania game to begin with. Mercury Steam was just developing it, and then Konami approached them and said, "Hey, let's make this a Castlevania game." So they reworked it, made it a Castlevania game. Ended up being really good, but in the beginning I didn't like it. For about 10 hours of playing that game, I was not feeling it. But Lords of Shadow won me over, man. It totally, as you keep
brought you
playing
back.
it, you get your character gets stronger, you get more abilities. It has that Metroid-ish, Castlevania-ish feeling as you progress as that character. You get stronger and stronger. By the end of the game, you're just like super powerful, and it's a lot of fun. And the storyline is phenomenal. Like the storyline is totally
Darksiders looking ass game.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Lords of
Darksiders
Shadow,
looking
is that
ass
the one
game.
where like the environment it's like outdoors and kind of I don't know because it looked weird to me that like I think I played it and it started out like outdoors. I don't know, it was a long time ago and I don't.
Lord's Shadow.
Yeah. Let me send it back.
It's good. It's graphically super impressive too. The thing that was cool about it is the abilities you get totally make you like in action games it's important to make you feel like you're like a badass. Like
For
that's why I like.
at home, Chris has pulled down his copy of Castlevania to hand to Irene.
It was an easy answer.
We are
She
surrounded by
wants-
his library.
We are. It's a good place to be for reference.
I ran out of shelf space. There's some more stuff to more of the
boxes.
older stuff like the Atari and like the
wow.
and television stuff I don't have out, but I wouldn't fill a whole shelf though. But all my super like 70s and super early 80s stuff I don't have out.
I totally prefer Castlevania 2D though to go just to
I
finish that
agree.
up because
Yeah.
the best Castlevania games by a fucking long shot are the 2D Castlevania games.
Symphony of the Night,
That's
hands
the
down.
same.
Obviously Symphony of the Night, but if you guys play,
That's the best Castlevania game.
that's
I
probably
give-
the best one.
I give it to
But
you.
there are games that have come
Easily.
up that have come close to its magnificence. That I
Are you
think
talking about like the DS one?
the DS games were all great.
Oh.
Portrait of Ruin, did you play Portrait of Ruin?
I didn't, but I knew someone who worked. He actually came up with the
Fate.
name Portrait of Ruin.
Oh really?
But yeah, I had a lot of friends that worked at Konami.
You
They
know
were
the
still
guy who
in
made the
Bay Area.
namesake?
That's a
Who
good
made
name.
Portrait of Ruin? Yeah.
The name for Portrait of
I
Ruin?
don't know him, but he's friends with a friend.
Sure, friends of
Deal.
friends.
That's
You're
how
familiar.
it is. Yeah. We've met.
We're tertiary.
Yeah, exactly. They did that with Silent Hill, though.
He's a
like
church
they
friend.
fucked it up. Like after, 4 was kind of crappy, but like after that, all of these different studios or whatever tried to take it over and try to do their own thing with it, and it just never recovered.
Yeah.
But 1's really good. I like 1 more than 3.
What's your feelings on Chrono Cross?
It's okay.
I'm gonna be
It's-
that person.
It's not
I
as
didn't
good as
like
Trigger,
it.
but I thought it was
Yeah.
decent. It was a decent attempt at a game, but I don't think it should have been.
It was my
sequelized or
it's
something
my
like that. It
fault.
shouldn't be-
I had the expectations
That it
and
would
they
follow it
were
up
not
and-
met, and I think that really just and I
You could have
never
like
revisited
130
Chrono Cross.
heroes, right? You
Is
like
it- yeah,
recruit
had, like
hella
a
people.
ridiculous cast.
Yeah.
of people.
And I
That was
just-
like half the game was going and finding a new island where you can get the frog or get somebody else. And even though I don't think you can get a frog on that one,
You
sadly.
can get someone who represents. You can get Glenn, who is supposed to be
Human
Frog.
Frog.
From,
Sure.
From Chrono Trigger. Chrono Cross. I'm a huge proponent of Chrono Cross.
And I hear that a lot, and
Really?
I never revisited it. I'm sure if I tried to play it again, I'd probably like it more. Try to get over that whole stupid expectation thing. But
I
at
think
the time,
it can meet some of those. Like if you, maybe you should revisit it. They have it on PSP and Vita. You can or you can download it and put it on there if you ever, or even on PS3. But it's that game I think was way ahead of its time. I love Chrono Cross. The music in that game. You know, that should be a top 2 games with great music.
Oh
Chrono
no,
It is. It's on
because
here.
I can't.
Soundtracks,
You
music.
can't narrow down. There's just too many that have good music.
There's
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially Trolls in Time.
Definitely Turtles in Time.
I love it.
Konami, that's really good Super Nintendo.
They knew how to use a MIDI machine.
They did.
I have 2 soundtracks on my phone right now: Final Fantasy VII, Mario RPG.
Nice.
I just because I like to listen to them. Sometimes I want to hear like the castle music or the island music from whatever. And
I do that.
throw it on and put it in and drive to work.
There's a modern game that has a soundtrack that I listen to like on my own, like not playing any games. Dust Force.
Oh yeah.
You played that.
I watched Daniel play a bunch of it. I didn't play it myself.
Soundtrack for that game is stupendous.
What's it on?
I thought you were going to say stupid.
No, I'm sorry.
Stupid.
Do you like it then?
It's a
stupid
kismet.
good.
Keep it simple and stupid.
I really appreciate good music. I feel like music can become a part of the game. Actually, I mean, like when you think of games like Mega Man 2, for instance, right? Like you think of the Bubble Man song just as much as you think of Bubble. At least I do. Like I love the music, and the music is just as iconic as the rest of the game.
I've had this discussion with a lot of people. I kind of felt like, like you were saying, music is definitely a memorable part of it, and it really helped to enhance. Because if you think of a lot of like modern games, they have composers and they make music, but it's forgettable. Like, you don't
A lot of it
think
is,
of
yeah.
it. Yeah, but back in the day, look at how many games where you can remember the music. So that was definitely, it enhanced the game.
Even for Last of Us, I don't think it's iconic like the other ones are. I remember the from Dragon Warrior from 20-something years ago. I don't remember shit from Last of Us. I don't remember if there was any song or
Last of Us
sound.
music was more like ambiance, I think. Yeah. But
like
here I have a good example, because the new, and you can vouch for this, but the new Killer Instinct, right?
Yes.
So here's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
The new Killer Instinct in the opening and in certain parts of the game plays the old Super Nintendo and arcade era guitar riff, and it's
you can make it happen.
Yeah, because the game has a cool effect where you can, as you move the cursor, it makes the sound. So if you press the cursor hella fast, it makes the sound hella fast, and it sounds ridiculous. But that old guitar riff for the original Killer Instinct, to me, that's iconic. Like, I totally remember hearing that sound like in the arcades, and even when you turn a Super Nintendo on. That rock, even a Super Nintendo game came with the Killer Cut CD. Like, it was the soundtrack that came with the game.
So it was good enough to have a soundtrack.
Right, it was good. It's memorable. So you remember that music, and it's in the new Killer Instinct. But do you remember any of the music outside of the title song?
Or even from the new series?
I'm talking about that.
Oh,
The
no,
new
yeah,
series.
because it's all... This is a good point, too, is there's all dubstep.
The new music is crap. It's hella dubstep and crap.
It's hardly recognizable.
It's not memorable.
Much less repeatable. Like, you'd hum the Mario tune and it would stay stuck in your head, or like hum the Final Fantasy stuff as it's just ambient while you're on the beach or as you're doing something. But with the new stuff, you can't just and remember that for later.
They're not iconic like it used to be. But
do you think it's because the music was so simple? It wasn't, you had to...
Maybe.
Yeah.
It was a very repeatable tune. It only lasted 12 seconds or...
Yeah, because
that's
they only
probably
had
a factor.
a little bit to... Yeah.
But why can't they still do that? There's no reason to say that because you have this super powerful PlayStation 4 that's capable of traveling through time. Like,
well, what I'm saying is, like,
to make a...
If it could travel through time,
you can make the same argument with graphics, too. Like, why do you need to keep fucking making all these
they make Final
stupid-ass
Fantasy
graphics?
15 and you
totally
just put like a little loop on it like they did for Final Fantasy 7 or 8 or something like that, and it's just and then like as you're walking through hallways, you just like fighting stuff. You're like, Final Fantasy 15, best soundtrack since Final Fantasy 8.
14. I'm just kidding.
I like 9 soundtrack.
I had a pretty decent one. They do so Steam does a lot of soundtrack work, and so does Green Man Gaming and indie bundles and stuff like that. Oh, if you get these games, you'll also get this soundtrack, or each soundtrack, if you put in like 588 towards getting all the games, like if you match the average. How do those stand up? Because those are soundtrack heavy games. Like Jim Guthrie does a lot of this stuff.
Jim Guthrie does good music.
Or Super Brothers.
Some of those games have great. I mean, like Bastion had a great soundtrack.
Oh, goodness,
VVVVV. You guys played that game at all?
Yeah.
That game had a soundtrack, amazing soundtrack. I love VVVV. But no, there's some games that have great soundtracks still. Jim Guthrie is a great example. But I still won't say it's as
do you call it
memorable.
VVV?
What do you call it? V6 or V5?
WWW.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm being ridiculous.
I'm
so sorry.
There's a term I've been kind of throwing around in my head that I don't actually say out loud to anyone yet, but I call it commercial music.
Sure.
Because...
Like
jingles.
There'll be a song on a commercial, and it won't be like the jingle, like "Buy our tasty cookies," but it'll be like, the fucking some person gets the product, and then in the background there's just this stupid feel good jam, like yeah, 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 yeah,
like a Mentos
and
commercial?
that's
or like a Nerf commercial.
It's the kind of music you hear
commercial.
nowhere except in just some bullshit happening for a few quick seconds. It's just some kind of made to elicit an emotion,
awesome. It makes me feel good because people are going,
yeah, these people like this, or somebody's like ooh, ooh, and some dumb shit like that.
Feel
then
nice.
it happens real quick, and then the thing's over, and you're like, that. You would never hear a song that does that, like a song on the radio that does anything like that, because it's just some dumb shit that just happens during this quick time.
Everything new is stupid. Everything old's better.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
MultiTap.
Oh, no.
Fucking authority.
Yeah, that is
We should have
kind
called
of
this bit by
mentality.
bit.
But,
Retrocast.
Everything new is stupid.
Let's reinvent the wheel. We're going back.
Yeah.
No technology.
Technology. We shouldn't even be recording this on a computer.
PS4.
Recording this
PS.5.
Yeah, 0.5.
Let's go back.
Super Nintendo.
It's just a Sony television you draw on.
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo was almost a PlayStation.
You arrange the coconuts into parts so that the holes line up to like...
Def TV.
Playing an Etch-a-Sketch? Or?
Yeah.
Magnadoodle.
Magnadoodle.
That shit's from the future.
Heck, I read it.
You erase it with magnets.
With shaking.
No, you draw with magnets.
No, that-
And you also erase with a different magnet.
With a different magnet.
See?
Yeah.
Dude, the technology is...
An opposite
Double magnets.
polarized. Yeah, double magnet.
That's just science.
That's just
right there.
retarded.
Dag, yo.
That's like fake.
That's so fake. They can't do that with magnets.
It's gonna be every other week, the fake cast.
There's another thing you reminded me of, but it's kind of off topic. Not that we don't do off topic constantly here.
The pilot episode is off topic. The fact that the NES controller was at one point more than $30 is amazing.
Or the paddle.
Oh yeah, the paddle.
I told
we should say.
fucking these kids I hang out with nowadays, I'm like, the gamepad, it's like game paddle. They call them paddles, and they're like, what? I'm like, a paddle. That was what it was called like back in like.
I
now
like
it's
that
not.
term, but I'm bringing it back.
Like
Ooh.
back in
PS4
like
That's a segment.
Atari,
Bring it back.
And they're like, well, there weren't paddles then either. I'm like, shut up. I'm like, that's stupid.
That's
You're
going to be our
stupid.
whole bring it back
I'm gonna go
segment.
buy a
It's
Yeah.
just
PS4
paddles.
paddle.
That's it.
Paddles.
Every time we'll bring it up.
You know what? I want cartridges back while we're at it.
Okay.
Play a
Tired of
Analog. I'm sick of this
Yeah.
digital
Handheld.
shit.
tired of optical discs.
I want to play the NES
Cartridges.
flute again.
just play a handheld. Maybe a
But substantial cartridges, like fucking NES cartridges.
Yeah.
Bringing it back on the Bring It Back talk show.
You still
Talking
haven't seen
about
that new
chest
episode.
hair.
You still haven't seen the new episode, have you?
I did. I watched
you?
it, and then Barry Gibb comes in at the end like. They didn't even seem to care. I thought they'd like blow up and be like, "Yeah, very good." They're just kind of like,
They knew it was there.
yeah. Should have been surprised though. You used to do that shit on SNL all the time. Surprise, and people would be like, "Oh, it's Robert De Niro," and they've been making fun of Robert De Niro for the past 5 minutes.
He's there to kill them.
He's just there like,
Robert De Niro. Yeah. Wow.
That's
Great
amazing.
De Niro face.
Yeah.
he'd like look at them and they'd be like,
Wait, was that on the fly or have you practiced that? It's pretty good.
"Thanks." I don't think I do the. I don't have much occasion to pull the De Niro out.
It's pretty good.
That's not a metaphor or a euphemism.
Pull the
Whatever those
De
are.
Niro out, huh?
I
Maybe
don't have
that's
much
going to be the
occasion to
counter
do
to the Ross.
All right, what do you got?
The De Niro face.
The De Niro,
Yeah.
it's true. You'd be like,
I
they're like,
can't. Yeah, I can't.
That's actually better.
Yeah, you'll defeat me every time.
No, De Niro's like, Adama's never skeptical like Rosalind is. He's just more like despondent, like, oh, I've been.
He's never skeptical like Rosalind is.
Rosalind's always that, you know.
You think Adama's not skeptical?
I don't think his face ever reflects
Skepticism.
skepticality.
I don't know. I think it's when he doesn't have any emotion in his face that
Just-
you know that he's fucking skeptical. Like, the fuck are you talking about? Face, you know. So I don't
Just
know.
Edward James almost is like face. I'm calling this paddle lingo.
That's
Also,
paddling.
hold on. Also,
I think that's a paddle.
That's bad.
Paddling
cartridges. He's a gamer.
Looking out the window.
for my beard.
Oh, you bet that's bad.
I swear that was one of them.
It is one of them. Yeah.
Oh, you better believe that's
Oh,
paddling.
you better believe that's a paddling. You know what I'm talking about? So, is Jasper from The Simpsons is substituting a school in Springfield Elementary,
That's right.
and he's telling him the rule of the classroom. He just has a paddle, and he's like looking out the window. That's a paddling. The dude's from
He's ready to for the old
old
school.
school.
He's ready to do some spanking. Paddle some behinds.
he calls you on it. Chewing gum. That's
No, it's
bad.
all ridiculous shit. Like paddling the school canoe. He gets mad
Yeah.
at that one. He's like, "Oh, you bet that's a paddling."
There is no school canoe.
I
What
like
if there
it.
were one? And the school was located on a lake.
What
I
did I have to do? Oh, it was to the guy,
Something.
Jamie, the other day for Groundskeeper Willie.
Oh, we're talking about Groundskeeper Willie and
Did you guys remember? It's a video game, Virtual Springfield for the PC. Remember that?
Virtual Springfield.
Virtual Springfield. The disc was a pink donut.
Nope.
You could throw it in and boot up Virtual Springfield.
Really?
You can go through the town like Myst, where you click and it'll be like, and it'll take you to the next little section.
No way.
Was
and
it
you can
marketed
go-
as a game? Was
Yeah,
it
it's a
actual
game.
playable
I'm
game?
gonna go
Oh.
download it.
I have it on disc.
What year, circa?
Blah.
We're talking like 90s?
Probably.
I would say 90s.
Like late 90s? It had to be if it was on optical, if it was on disc. Because if it was mid 90s, it'd be on floppy.
was not on floppy. It was on CD.
Was your internet time measured in minutes?
It was measured in ding ding ong ding ong ding. Is that internet? Did we get it?
Is that internet? No, internet's AOL.
It was after playing Commander Keen
Okay.
and Duke Nukem on
So
floppy.
we're talking like
Well, I
Windows
played Duke Nukem on
98.
disc is what I played.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think I played it on
had
floppy.
the
Had
nuke
a-
symbol on the disc.
Commander Keen?
No, Duke 3D.
Duke
Oh,
Nukem.
yeah. Duke Nukem 3D.
Not 3D.
Oh.
The
Alright.
side-scrolly
Duke
crappy
Nukem,
one
yeah.
where your
Alright,
bullet
I always
looks like
go
a little
straight to 3D,
Thunderbolt
and then I
squiggle.
found out there were other Duke Nukums, and I'm like, these are hard.
Yeah, the side
They were kinda hard.
scrolling Duke Nukems are kind of like Commander Keen.
Find the crappy key card, and as soon as you do, shoot the hell out of whatever looks like Sark from Tron.
Yeah, they kept the key cards from the side-scrolling Duke Nukem in the
Got
in the
blue
3D.
key card. That was from Doom too, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Doom had key cards. Where you're like,
Yeah.
green key card takes you to Beholder Room.
There was no
Oh!
green
Beholder
key
room.
card. And those are
Floating.
cacodemons.
Yeah,
I love the cacodemon, they suck.
you know that's his like use that icon. For
Yeah,
all
I
things.
use
Yeah.
cacodemon all the time.
Dumbass. What's the weakness to a what is their weakness?
Anything that hits fast.
Shotgun,
Anything that hits fast. You stun lock them with
Bullets.
anything that hits fast.
concussive force.
They're weak to
Damage.
Damage.
Yeah, because they have the one. Like, ah,
It just confuses them and they melt. Yeah.
It's like the Big Trouble in Little China Beholder.
And
But then it runs away.
Yeah, it showed
Oi.
Lopan. What's up?
Low pain.
Lopan could see through. He was the Beastmaster of the Beholders. He
Yeah.
could see through the eyes of.
The eyes of the hawk or the ferret or
Lopan.
whatever. Shut up, Mr. Button. When I cut this round to get it.
I love him. You know what old Jack Burton says on a night like this when the wind's whipping around and the storm is hailing down on your truck?
Who?
Me.
Jack Burton. Me.
The movie was great. Anyways, Virtual Springfield was a delight.
I'm gonna.
They had basically situations that you would like. It was a puzzle game where you would pick things up from the bar. Like, oh, I need to talk to Mo, and then something will happen, and then I can grab the peanuts from the bar to throw at Barney, so Barney will do something else. But
I didn't
every
have
time you go in there's a situation that happens. Like you do something, and then like an interaction occurs.
I didn't
Click
have
on
a
something.
All your
and then-
favorite characters.
computer until I was way older.
Should've done that.
I was blessed in
Should've
having a
done.
crappy computer for a long, long time.
We
And
were
then
too.
my friends had better computers, and I went to their houses because they had better computers. I was an awful child.
We should be the four Yorkshiremen of video games. Be like, back in my day, we were
Whoa.
lucky to have a computer.
You could be Apu
Thank you, come again. I remember this.
and
Like-
shoot Kearney apparently.
It was a Poom, yeah, for Doom, a Poom,
Yeah.
and you could shoot Kearney. The one was great though. You go to the bar and groundskeeper Willie would come in. Oh, it's laddies' night. And he goes, not laddies, ladies. You skirt-wearing freak. He goes, oh, you pants-wearing booze bunny. And then he just leaves.
That is
Sad. Because it wasn't laddie's night. He was in his kilt and everything. He took his overalls off. He was ready. Free booze.
ready for Laddie's night.
For laddie's night. Oh, man.
No, I'm actually jealous. I can't grow facial hair to save my life.
I'll kill you if you don't grow a beard.
Like, oh, try. I'll be back.
It gets all spotty and gross. I can grow a mustache. I can grow a super porno mustache.
Wait,
but
could you do a Manchu?
Probably good, but that's
Okay.
kind of
That's
racist.
racist.
I guess
Kinda
so.
racist.
Well, if
You
you
grow what
if the
you
stereotype fits.
You grow what you can, and
Grow
what
what
you
you
can
can,
grow is a
yeah.
Fu Manchu,
Yeah.
and I
Then you-
hope I didn't.
You end
You
up
broke
like
it. You broke the
Lopan.
podcast.
I did.
I have to get a Raiden hat, start shooting lightning, fight Kurt Russell.
Defo.
Wow.
You got the spinny
That was
disc,
good.
like.
He has a weird way to shoot
pinwheel.
lightning.
He does.
He has a very thriller. Yeah, he's got a
And
thriller.
he's got that "Your mama's from LA" thing. He flies across the screen.
That's-
Yeah, that thing.
That's actually Raiden. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your mom is from LA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sounds like
I haven't
it.
heard that one, but that's pretty damn close.
Yeah.
We should start organizing this.
Yeah.
Should we do Hagar versus Zangief, or have you come up with something? Has your genius led you to
I have
another
been
matchup?
thinking-
One other matchup.
I haven't been thinking. I think
Oh,
Zangief
there's-
versus Hagar is like a
Spout 2 names.
2 names.
There's so many that we can do.
Put me on the spot.
I mean, there's very
Seaton from
You can do
Xenu
that-
Gears.
Seaton. You and I have very different. You and I have very different pronunciations of things.
We do.
But I call them Citan.
I
But
call them sight.
Citans.
Citan. I wonder who that could have been. Citan!
What do you think would give out first? The Pong paddle or the ship from asteroids? Do you think it would just reflect the bullets back and blow them up eventually?
What's
or
the question? What?
Oh, you mean
The ship from
Arcanine.
asteroids?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Asteroids.
Oh okay. Never mind.
Or flying around back.
They should have done a Last Starfighter's Death Blossom with that thing.
I usually sat in the middle spinning and shooting and it got me killed.
Yes.
But that or the Pong paddle, what would win? If flying around shooting at it would probably reflect bullets, would eventually give out and explode? Or, like, do you think he would reflect them back and reflect them black? Reflect the bullets back.
There's a lot of
and-
variables in that.
Mm.
Reflect the black.
The thing is designed to knock away much larger projectiles.
Right.
It is.
But the other one blows apart asteroids.
Right. And it's mobile. And it can go off screen.
I think
And come back around.
Yeah.
there's a lot of hypothetical there too, because there's no precedent for the Pong paddle ever breaking,
And
and there's no, that never has any like
we
endurance
don't
bar.
know.
Just
Right. Yeah, it doesn't have energy, and we don't know how strong the bullets are from the asteroid ship.
they seem pretty weak sauce.
They blow up asteroids with one bullet.
Those asteroids are outlines.
You're an outline.
That's an outline.
I'm just as God made me.
That's an interesting one. You can do Pong paddle versus Arkanoid.
We're back to paddles.
Yeah, because you were doing like this, and I was like, oh, is it Arcanine?
Like
Sorry,
Arkanoid.
Pong.
I love
Yeah, okay,
Arkanoid,
yeah.
man.
Breakout.
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 Also Arkanoid.
Because the ball from Arkanoid, there was stuff that thing could not break. So the ball was weak. We
They
don't
can
know.
be powered
good.
up. You can get power ups.
Yeah, turn into a fireball. Or
Yeah, but it had those like the silver bricks that it just would never break. You couldn't break them.
Have you guys played Wizorb?
Yes. I haven't gotten very good at it though. I can't get past the first world. I think
Wizorb's amazing.
Wizard's pretty good. It's like Arkanoid.
It's drawn by Paul Robertson. Too.
It's a little less forgiving than
Which one was
Arkanoid.
Paul
It's
Robertson.
actually quite a bit less
He's the
forgiving.
artist. He's the 2D artist. He does Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, that's the one.
He does like Kings of Power 4,000,000,000%. You seen that video? If you guys haven't seen that video,
It's a whole mishmash of craziness.
That's
It's
most
like-
of the ones he's animated. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever seen Pirate Baby?
Yeah.
So
Cabana Battle.
Kings of Power was his follow-up to Pirate Baby. It was in full color and it was longer and
Same
higher,
kind of shit though.
Higher, well, even greater stakes though. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
Greater state.
yeah. I mean, because
The scope.
the scope was much larger on Kings of Power.
Yes.
And it's like cosmic at that point. Because dude,
Cosmic
Pirate
King of
Baby
Power.
is just like Double Dragon. They're ascending a tower, and it's just human. Anyway.
That was cool. The whole wizard. I like the metagame for that, where you're in the Arkanoid thing, but you're trying to rebuild the town for the people because they're all
and you
sad
can walk
about
around
it.
the town. There's an RPG element.
There is.
Yeah, you level up too.
It's very like Crystallis or Dragon Warrior, where you're trying to pop through the town.
Crystallis.
Crystallis was like the best game.
Crystallis is SMK.
I take it back. That was like best game for
really?
NES.
Yeah.
Wow.
I played
SMK
so
is like my
much
favorite.
Crystallis. And the hardest part of that game was not even the end where you're fighting like Dinah or Dine, something. It was the part in the little cabin with the guy who has a sword fight. You have to like tap him to like get him all the way up into his corner. Remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the hardest part of the game. Like you have to like.
dude, that was
That's some intensity.
yeah, freaking kneecap.
Hear it.
Sounds hollow. Stop that.
There's no more liquid inside. It's all just.
Knee fluid.
Yeah.
That just makes me test your might. Some people had the trick where they hit it real fast, or they roll their knuckles.
Yeah, I
you get
remember
another
that.
cartridge and be like,
Who was insane?
Start-
Wasn't that Brian or was it who was?
Brian has a crazy thumb.
Brian's
It's like-
really good.
That's the one, yeah. Where somebody
because I
just
thought
a
I was
little-
fastest like button presser I knew, and then Brian beat me.
He cut his like thumb open once on glass, and then when it healed, like it's like
Oh, dude, he had a rookie of the year.
yeah, it's like rookie of the year. I was thinking, how did League of Their Own not
Henry Rowan
rookie of their
Gardner.
own?
When he beat
Yeah,
you at Test Your Might, did you scream "Funky Butt Lovin'"? You should have. Did you
I didn't
just
know
say
that.
"Funky Butt Lovin'"?
I'm gonna start calling him weird variations of Rowan Gardner. Garden Noser.
No, you don't remember it's not Danny Glover, but it's a guy that looks like Danny Glover. Who's his coach?
Practically Danny Glover.
It's basically Danny Glover.
Yeah.
It
Danny
might
Glover
even
like-
be Danny Glover, actually.
Yeah?
I don't remember if
Danny Glover
No,
was
that's Angels in the
Angels in the
Outfield.
Danny Glover knows
Yeah.
no bounds. He
Danny
was in some
Glover
of the
knows
shittiest
that
stuff.
accidents can be lethal. That was a poster in my health class. It was him from like Lethal Weapon in black and white, like leaning, and like the doors open in a cop car. Yeah, and it says Danny Glover knows that accidents can be lethal, and I'm like,
There's a point where you get too old for this shit.
I took a picture of it.
Accidents can be lethal. Who wins in two crude dudes? Crude dude 1 or crude dude 2?
Or Crew Dudes versus Bad Dudes. Or Double Dragon.
Bad dude.
Double
win.
Dragon versus River City Ransom.
There you go.
Should do that today.
What?
One of those. One we just came up with.
I love Double Dragon.
I kind of like the Double Dragon one.
Double Dragon's good. You can do Double
Versus-
Dragon versus
Who?
everybody.
So, like, who are we talking
Billy and
about?
Jimmy
Just
Lee
Billy and Jimmy, or are we
versus-
talking about like part 3 where there's what's his name, the other guy, Ninja
Shin.
guy and Fat guy?
Shin
yeah.
and no. Damn it. Double Dragon 3 had the 2 other characters.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, Double Dragon 2
I would think we should
it's
keep
the
it
pinnacle.
pure,
It
like
is
back
the
to
pinnacle.
Billy and Jimmy Lee. Just
Billy and Jimmy
Billy and Jimmy are
Okay.
versus the world
versus the world.
Versus the world.
versus Scott and Ramona.
You can do other like
That actually be kind of good. That was the same.
beat 'em ups.
Like
So,
Billy and Jimmy
Scott Pilgrim.
versus your choice of the 2 Battletoads
That was
in that damn
Battletoads
helicopter where the door
versus-
keeps opening.
Or Battletoads
Dragon.
versus Ninja Turtles in time.
Ninja Turtles in time.
Battle.
Ninja Turtles.
Shit got real. For some reason, I always think on that one of Leatherhead just hucking knives and hopping around.
I always think of Baxter Stockman's
That's second.
hand.
Literally
Ow,
a
ow.
handgun. They
Yeah,
turned
it's
that
so
dude
damn
into
good.
like a black
Pizza
guy in an
time.
afro and a robot suit is what he is now.
Is it?
Technodrome.
Let's get shell.
Shell.
Big Apple.
3 a.m.
I like
I love that one.
Bury my shell at Wounded Knee.
Oh, that game was good.
It was great.
Had good use of Mode 7.
Turtles versus
Biker Mice?
Mars.
No, from
From
Earth.
Other biker
We
mice.
have biker mice.
Or Street Sharks.
Samurai
That-
Pizza Cat.
Samurai
There you
Pizza
go.
Cats.
That was a good
versus
NES
Ninja
game.
Turtles. Samurai Pizza Cats?
Yeah.
They had an NES game?
Yeah. It was
Did
like Mega Man, but you switched characters on the
Samurai
fly.
Pizza Cats.
Yeah.
In America?
I played it on emulator.
Okay, because I don't remember that.
It was fucking fun.
Dude, if there is an existing
I was thinking of that earlier when you were talking about like
Legend
Legend of the Wizard or some nonsense.
Legacy of the
Legacy
Wizard.
of the- I didn't play it. I don't remember the name. When you're talking about that, I'm like, oh, switching characters. This is like Samurai Pizza Cats.
It's not nothing.
You choose one of your 3, and then like the other dude, like the whatever cat that had a helicopter or whatever, you just switch into them and be like, hey, you fly over here. 2
I thought we were
different.
doing Double Dragon.
Double Dragon
Hey,
versus whom?
I don't know.
It has to be something that everybody knows about. Streets of Rage.
Jimmy and
Or Bad Dudes.
Jimmy and Bimmy,
Ninja
because that's
Gaiden.
how
Final
it's
Fight.
written there.
Final Fight. Yeah.
Scorpion and Sub
Cody and
Guy.
Guy.
And Haggard.
Guy.
In
Guy
France.
Fierce. I feel like
Final
Mm.
Fight versus Double Dragon would be good. I'd listen to that.
Would you? Because you're gonna have to cast.
I'd watch it.
You ain't get to listen. You don't get the luxury.
Enjoy it.
Do we have to actually justify why we're picking it? Can I just say Double Dragon?
I
and
think
that's
there's
why?
just-
It'd be nice to be like, cause jumpsuits.
Okay.
Because if you
okay.
hold the R button down for a long time, you're gonna
Cyclone Spin Kick.
cyclone spin kick. What's the one if you hold it down for under half the bar? You just get a whip around, just a
And what Double Dragon?
roundhouse, is it?
There's-
Super double
You
dragon.
just
Double,
double.
Super Double Dragon
That's
had
different.
extra moves.
You just double tap the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit
Super
both
Double
the
Dragon
jump.
had-
Hit both again to spin around like a jerk.
To me, the best.
You were a
To me,
jerk
Double
in that
Dragon, like the climax of that series was number 2.
I love that
So
game.
I base everything.
And every time I play it, I'm like, oh,
Final
let's play Double
boss
Dragon
is
2.
so hard.
And then you get to the like
It
Spike
seems like
Palace and
this
lose
is
all your
weird.
lives.
Is
and
that the one we
then you're
played?
done.
You
Double
have
Dragon
to get
2?
to him
Think so.
with
You and I.
like just stocks of lives. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're never gonna die.
Mhm.
But if you get the knee, you know the secret knee technique.
just
that
constant
launches
knee.
them?
Yes.
You can do that on command if you like super practice the timing. It's still weird because it's a 2-button controller, so you don't
Yeah.
know like how complex could this be. But it's just really precise
That was always so
timing
bad
to
to
get
me.
that knee off. But like if you can knee that dude like 15 times in a row, then
Did
You know,
they-
only 15 times.
Did they have the sweet grab, like the block grab in Double Dragon 2?
All the Double Dragons
You, like,
have the grab.
Grab his arm and he's down there and you're like, pat, pat.
Oh no,
ta,
see,
ta, 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 ta,
that's
like across his face. And he's like,
that's Super Double Dragon. But
Great.
every Double Dragon did have.
And they have one where
grab.
they can hold them under the arm and
You, like,
Yeah, just
pop
waiting
boss
for
or
it, like-
something, and then you huck them over your shoulder off a rooftop.
Yeah.
Double Dragon 1 and 2, you can get them in like this, like in the front, and you like push their head down. You can like knee or you can elbow, and then you can either uppercut them or you can throw them over you. And Double Dragon 3, though, they added that flip. I love Double Dragon.
their move list is really good. Like in all those.
And Double Dragon 3 added like RPG elements to it too, because you had like.
I don't think I ever like. I think at one point I beat Double Dragon 2, but I don't think I beat Double Dragon 3.
Double Dragon 3 is
Because wasn't
hard.
it Mary or whatever? She was
Mary.
the last boss. Yeah, she'd like fly around and shit. She
Yeah.
got like possessed or something.
She's supposed to
Flying around isn't
Yeah,
fair in
but
Double Dragon.
I agree. She was very, very difficult.
It's gonna be ground based and kind of like wonky. Move
That's
your-
exactly what should happen. You
Yeah.
should look like.
That,
And then Joe Flamingo from
Don-
Punch Out.
Don Flamingo.
get hit and they're like,
Yeah, you can
Hold
see
on.
it, and it's like the biggest surprise.
It's just the
You
repetition
have
of
to totally telegraph
and they're like,
just- when you fall,
curl up like.
spin around, go on one foot like a ballerina. If you think about it, when he's punching their face, he is that jumping.
Yeah, he's
full
literally-
body.
Yes.
And these guys are only like 6 feet at the most, so the dude's like 3 feet tall.
Tiny.
At most.
That's why I was always
And
like,
he
what the
beats
hell
Mike
are the
Tyson,
weight
like,
classes
yeah,
in
this-
this?
Yeah,
tall.
there's no weight classes. It's
Obviously.
fucking Wild West boxing.
Wild West boxing. And then in
Um,
Super, they have like a guy with a stick who hits you.
Yeah,
It's like,
Hoy
yeah,
Carlo.
whatever.
King
Hoy Carlo.
Rhino, something like that.
No,
King
King
Hippo.
Hippo.
King Hippo.
The super
Like,
Rhino.
pop him in.
King
He's a
Hippo.
king, and he's horny. Double Dragon versus who?
I don't know, man.
You don't know?
Double Dragon. I like Final Fight. I
You
like
like
Streets of
Final
Rage.
Fight,
You-
right.
We can just do all of them. Like
One giant 8-player
No, I mean,
brawl
like-
where everybody.
after we declare that they have bested.
Are you talking about a ladder?
So like tournaments.
Yeah.
stuff?
Doing like
yeah.
a
Yeah,
tournament
Double
style?
Dragon beats Bad Dudes. Double Dragon beats what do we say? Final Fight. Double Dragon beats Streets of Rage. Double Dragon beats like there's tons of those. beat-em-ups,
Does that
man. It's
include
like,
supers
true.
and stuff?
Power
Streets of
Rangers.
Rage, like in the first one, they called in like a cop with a Gatling gun.
They call in
Yeah.
a car
And you'd
off
be like,
screen, and it would shoot like missiles. Yeah, I still say Double Dragon.
Wow, that's a lot of faith.
That is a
in
lot
those
of faith
two.
in Double Dragon.
Billy and Jimmy Lee. Could
They'd be
Didn't
calling
have
it in,
anything
they'd
like
just
that.
be like, Super Knee.
Axel and Blaze.
Blaze.
Because I feel like Axel's just trying to feel up Blaze all the time.
Probably.
Because he's like a grabber from
Following
back.
her
So it's distracted in the middle of a fight, which isn't good because Billy and Jimmy Lee got their eyes on the shit.
Yeah,
They
were-
definitely
whereas
want
in
to
the
beat up
end game,
everyone.
On the end game, they
which is
well, 'cause-
Marion. And
yeah,
they're,
they
like,
have a
tag
they have an
teams.
end game. They have a goal.
Who gets Marion? Because then at the very end,
Jimmy.
they have to
Or no, Billy, Blue.
I think it's. Yeah.
Billy
Well,
is-
Billy has Marion in his arms down the stairs on the cover of Double Dragon 2.
Mhm.
So
I thought it was Blue.
Assume
Billy.
he's supposed to, but then they get there, like, we went all this way.
now they have
Jimmy
to
wants
fight.
some,
Yeah,
and then they
Jimmy
fight.
wants some.
What happens in the movie?
Oh my
Duh.
god.
The
I've
movie
never
was the
seen
best
it,
thing
so-
The
ever.
movie Scott Wolf gets.
I know.
Seriously, Scott
Yeah.
Baio.
Gets Alyssa Milano.
Versus what's his name? Or not
Versus
versus
Mark
his brother.
Dacascos.
His
Mark
Mark
Dacascos. Yeah,
Iron Chef.
that guy was great.
I know.
Oh wait,
I
Double
know.
Dragons.
He's my
We should be. This is the
fantasy
conversation-
husband.
Did you
Ooh,
ever see
that'd
that
be
movie Only the Strong?
highly
Mark
befitting.
Dacascos?
No,
I just
but
told
you
him about
me to
Oh
that.
watch
my
it.
god, I love that movie
Dude,
so
is it
much.
better
I
than
love
Double
that movie
Dragon?
too.
I
Can
do
get a high five
too.
for Hold It
Yeah,
Strong, please.
fuck yeah.
Hold It Strong. Capoeira.
Capoeira, yeah.
Iron Chef.
They
don't know
use
Dangerous
those-
Minds.
Dangerous Mind.
Wow.
Gangsta's
It's
Paradise.
the dangerous capoeira
Shell
chef.
Pfeiffer, Catwoman,
No, I was trying to-
Stitch Suit.
I was trying to explain to him what it
Coolio.
was, and it's
Kinda
like
break it down.
it's a substitute,
Yep.
but capoeira.
Yes, that's all you need. That should be
Eddie
enough.
Gordo is Tom Berenger in
Only the strong.
only Tom Brader.
Colon the substitute.
Colon the
There's like a drug war going on too, and like they go
That's
and
very
practice on a
And
substitute.
the
stage.
drug lord happens to also do capoeira,
Naturally.
and so they have a
Of
capoeira.
course.
I think
battle.
that's the
Yeah.
locale, the area that there is. I think it's just a capoeira heavy.
Zone.
Well, it's they just know.
You just entered the capoeira zone. Kid.
Blanca's here to show you the ropes.
New game, capoeira zone. We could make that
There
too.
you go, dude.
Games that should
I
be.
love it.
Capoeira zone.
Eddie Gordo is the officiant.
Elena.
Definitely.
He's the Mark Dacascos of
Mark
capoeira
Dacascos
zone.
should just be in it, and his name should be Only the Strong.
Strong.
Or he's just the strong.
OTS.
So it doesn't happen. The movie's over.
And then when he wins, when he beats the game, it adds the only because he just beat everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
the only
This
strong.
should happen.
There can only be one strong.
Or he just called the game that. The Strong.
Mm-hmm.
Starring Max Koskis.
That's an Eddie Gordon.
As himself.
And Eddie Gordon.
And Eddie Gordon.
It's
And
a
Michelle
long-
Pfeiffer,
It's a long
actually.
title. You guys seen the live action Tekken movie?
No.
No.
You probably shouldn't, but you know,
I saw the Street Fighter live action movie, so I should probably see the
I
Tekken
saw-
movie.
there's a difference. The Street Fighter
The
live action
Chun-Li
movie
live action movie as
was
well.
fun.
Was it?
Just the Tekken was
Yeah.
not
Calling
fun.
it fun.
It's Van Damme and Kylie Minogue fighting Raul Julia.
Raul Julia.
Yeah, I
In
think
his
that's...
final role.
Has camp appeal.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll agree to
Tekken-
disagree. It's
Okay,
cool.
sure.
You know.
There's
Yeah.
been a couple fighting game movies, and they've all been bad. Because there's Tekken, there's King
That's
of Fighters,
fair.
there's Dead or Alive, there's Street Fighter.
There's
all
been a
been
King
bad.
of Fighters movie?
Yeah,
Seriously?
Live action movie?
Action?
live action. It
Who
was
do they have in it?
Mark Dacascos.
Maggie Q is the only recognizable name.
Okay.
She's Mai Shiranui. There's a guy
course.
whose name
Yeah.
is Kyo Kusanagi,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
You can't really get more of a Japanese name than Kyo Kusanagi, right?
So they got a white dude.
Exactly.
White dude,
Of course,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
course.
So yeah, King of Fighters is bad, real bad.
Okay, I won't.
They just made up.
I
their
want
own
to
storyline.
watch it, but
I know,
don't
I'm
think
really
should.
curious about the
That's
ones you're talking
most
about now.
fighting game
Yeah.
movies.
I didn't know it was a Dead or
and
Alive movie
and that's
either.
bullshit. Yeah, there's a Dead or Alive starring
no
Jamie
idea.
Presley, and
I don't think I know who that is.
Jamie Presley is the
Oh,
girl
Jamie.
from
Yeah,
My
yeah, yeah.
Name is
From
Earl.
My Name is Earl, yeah.
And the girl from Sin City, the Asian girl.
Fat lady.
She's
Racist.
She's an Asian girl.
Starts with an M.
Maggie Q.
No.
Hey, Margaret Cho?
No.
That's different. Is it Asian lady fat?
I can
Fat Margaret
make
Chan.
distinctions.
Roseanne Barr.
No, what is her name in the movie in Sin City? Starts with an M.
Yeah, I don't remember her name, but
No.
anyway, she's in it too.
Miko or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
I won't
Yeah.
remember.
But yeah, Dead or Alive movie was awful.
Wow. So when did the King of Fighters movie come out?
2008 or so, 2009. So the weird thing is
Wow.
that it was a fully produced movie. It wasn't like some indie or like some fan made. It was fully produced, and it was released, but not anywhere that you could see it. Like,
It was released on Jupiter.
Straight to DVD that
I think it
no
was-
stores will sell.
well, the thing is, it was a U.S. made movie, but it wasn't. As far as I could tell, no U.S. theaters show. I think it was shown in
Sure.
like Taiwan, and I want to say it was shown in maybe a couple
Big.
theaters, like indie theaters, like
Big in
San Francisco
Taiwan.
or something. But
Just like Hasselhoff is big in Germany. And
yeah,
Yeah.
but you can. It's on Netflix, and you can totally watch it. Iori
just-
dates
Is
my.
it called King of Fighters?
Yeah. It
on
has-
Netflix.
it has-
I haven't even seen it on there.
it's
They
probably-
don't pimp it out, clearly.
No,
I mean,
I just think my problem is that, like, let's take this franchise that started, like, in the mid-90s and, like, it's 2009. That's a great idea for a movie. Like, I don't know, it's a little late.
yeah.
I mean, what was the latest King of Fighters game?
King of Fighters is still current.
13.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
Is there most...
King of Fighters 13 came out in 2012 and is still currently played in tournaments and stuff.
Which one was the one before that?
King of Fighters 12.
Well, yeah, but when did it come out?
That came out on the like a year and a half prior,
Okay.
and then before that was 11, and 11 came out on that was on PS2. It was like 2005. 03
Oh,
came
so
out
quite a
before.
bit bigger buffer
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
there was a
So
big,
were they just coming out yearly or
for a
twice
while
yearly?
from 94 through 2002 they were pretty much yearly. Then 2003 came out in like 04. They started realizing that these games aren't coming out on time, so they stopped naming them years. So King of Fighters 2004 is technically King of Fighters 11, and then 12 and 13. But 13 is
And
the
then we had
most.
Neo Wave, which I guess
Neo-
kind of wasn't really.
Well, Neo is not it's kind of like a non-canonical King of
Yeah,
Fighters
it's
game.
like kind of a.
They called it Neo Wave because it was running. That was the first King of Fighters game to run on a different game engine. It was running on a Thomas Wave, so they called it Neo Wave because it's an amalgamation of Neo Geo and a Thomas Wave. Neo
That's
Wave.
logical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
King of Fighters Neo Wave.
Very sensible.
Yeah, but the problem with that is they use the
Agreed.
Neo Geo sprites on a Thomas Wave background. But the Neo Geo sprites are fucking 15 years old at this point, and yeah, they look like shit. So King of Fighters 12 was the first one where they redrew all the sprites. It looks fantastic, but King of Fighters 12 plays like complete trash. And I'm a huge King of Fighters fan. My hallway's nothing but King of Fighters posters. But 12 was horrible. 13 is actually fantastic. 13 is probably in my opinion, the best King of Fighters ever made. I love that game.
Wow.
They did really
They
good.
did well.
They used the graphics from 12 and completely balanced it, or balanced it more than 12. Added a lot more features. As far as a fighting game goes, it's a very complete game. I love King of Fighters 13 is great game.
So Double Dragon
Versus.
Final fight. It's got
Final Fight. Should we do that one?
Yeah. Well, you gotta look at their signature moves. And Hager's got the spinning lariat, and he's got the pile driver, both of which, how you beat it.
You don't.
Well, but see,
he
that's
tries
not
to move
equal
in.
match,
They do
though. It's 3 versus 2. I feel like maybe we shouldn't
It
do
is.
games. We should do characters in games, or like make it so that it is
All right,
equal.
Cody and Guy.
We
Because
should-
Cody and Guy are of
okay.
the same caliber as
And
Billy and
let's-
Jimmy, probably.
Bro, yeah,
Let's
like
pick
a
one
whole
Double
you have
Dragon.
two-
Because apparently there's different moves in 4.
They do the
in,
spin
in
kick.
some different ones, not just.
You can't.
Okay. I've never played 4, so.
No.
If they do the Double Dragons do the spin kick, you can't get close to them.
Yeah,
You
because
just
that's the
keep-
equivalent of the lariat, right?
Yeah,
You
but,
can, when they land, throw a knife.
Well, Lionel over there, Ninja Lionel from friggin' Double Dragon 2, just sits there and watches you like, what the hell are you doing? And he hits you with a shuriken. You're
Yeah.
like, you motherfucker.
And he runs.
Then he backflips out of the way and hits you with another one. I hate that guy.
Also, whose weapons do you take? Is nunchuck? It beats a whole.
Ah, you gotta take the mace. So you can
The
mace
ball and
picture.
chain.
Who carries a mace?
Those Mohawk chicks.
Yeah, I know,
They
like,
carry
like,
those and grenades.
I just think it's like a very like it reminds me of like the opening of RoboCop, like with Detroit just being like in complete and utter chaos, and people are just breaking shit left and right. I just imagine like they'd have maces in an environment like
Morningstar.
that, but like Billy and Jimmy just walk down the street because they see somebody punched Marion in the stomach. The whole synopsis, yeah, Marion's just chilling. Some guys walk up, sock her in the stomach. Billy and Jimmy, I guess, hear it because then the garage opens up and it starts playing the theme music, and they just proceed to beat strangers up on the road. So actually, Double Dragon, Billy and Jimmy Lee are the bad guys.
But
Kind
those
of
guys are
twist.
attacking them.
Well, they're attacking them because Billy and Jimmy Lee come out in sleeveless shirts and start
And vests.
That is very
swinging at,
threatening.
start
sleeveless.
swinging at people, talking about how Marion's a metaphor. And the Double Dragons are the bad guys.
They
They just Shyamalan you.
It's
She's
the
a
reverse
metaphor.
of chasing the dragon.
Yeah.
They can't ever catch her.
There is no Marion. In fact, you end up fighting her in 3. So
That's true. So what was
Marion's
the
trying
whole
to
deal
keep
with
them
that?
away.
So she was cursed or
Oh.
possessed or something, right?
Yeah, what was that? That one was there was the 3 sacred stones,
That's-
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
so I can't remember exactly the story, but either way, it was a cool game. They were ambitious with it, you know.
And how did they meet the other 2 guys? Like, hey, ninja,
Yeah.
want to come like fight with us?
Do I?
Well, you don't have them in the beginning, right? You
I don't
start out
remember.
with just Billy and Jimmy, and then you recruit them along the way. After you beat them, because you fight.
Yeah, that's right. You have to fight
Yeah.
them, and if you beat
I
them,
love
they
they
join
join
you.
to do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
No, it sure doesn't.
Like when you in Streets of Rage when you beat up the handler before the kangaroo and the kangaroo just follows you around and beats people up for you.
You've impressed them with your prowess.
Your martial
Yeah,
your
prowess,
might.
Yeah.
They're like, damn, I can follow someone like that.
My marital prowess.
There you go.
Marital prowess.
He's very loyal.
Wow,
Yeah.
you've been married for a long time.
High fidelity.
Yes.
How long
I
have
will
you
beat
been
up strangers with you.
How long have you been married?
6 years.
It's pretty long.
That
6
is a long
years.
time.
How long have you been together?
8 years.
Nice. That's like you
Royale
married,
was she.
you got married pretty early.
Right out the
You
gate.
did, yeah.
2 years out the gate.
2 years.
I like this, so I put a ring on it.
Cool.
2 years old.
2 years old.
2 years old. I was 2. She was 3.
Locked it.
Like the older ladies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's a full 50% older than you.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a toddler cougar.
Nice.
That's what that's called.
Kugler.
Coogler. Like one of the neighbors from Family Matters. Yeah, Coogler's coming over again. One of Urkel's friends.
You remember what happened last time.
Coogler.
Oh, that's something.
Coogler versus Urkel. Go. Who wins in a fight?
Urkel makes a robot.
Urkel becomes Bruce Lee.
Stefan Urkel.
Stefan,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
He becomes Bruce Lee. He
That
does, like,
Bruce Lee.
show
That show got hella science fiction.
that
It
shit
did.
is insane.
he went from Weird Hatch Car to Bruce Lee or Stefan Urkel
He
like
went from the
over half the
the
time.
Isetta, right? That's the car, the front opening three-wheel door.
Is that what that was
The
called?
Isetta, yeah.
Huh.
The middle child, I forget her real name, is totally a porn star now.
I thought
What?
that's where you were gonna go with that. You're like the middle
Judy.
child. I probably did porn.
Judy.
Judy.
Yeah, speaking of that, though, Austin St. John, I think was he's a Red Power. He's
Sure.
what was his name?
He's also
Tommy.
a porn star.
No, Tommy's Jason David Frame. Austin
Oh,
St.
that is
John was the
Jason.
Red
Tommy's the
Ranger.
green.
Why can't I remember his name?
Is it a later Red Ranger?
No, he's the beginning. He's a
It's the
Tyrannosaurus.
first one. Yeah.
Oh no, Tommy was green.
Yeah.
Jason, wasn't it?
No.
Brian? No.
It was
Wait,
Jason,
it
wasn't
might
it?
have been Jason.
I think it was
Was it
Jason.
Jason?
Jason and
It
Tommy.
might have been Jason because I'm confusing Jason David Frank.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, Austin St. John was
We have
like
the
there was
internet.
this picture floating around the
Dude.
internet of him in some like really explicit gay porn, and I think he refuted it. It's probably fake,
Okay.
but it's pretty convincing.
Looking it up.
Austin St. John,
Austin St. John taking a piece.
I think he's giving it. I think he's the pitcher.
Giving it. All right.
The other guy's the catcher.
You
Handing
were
out-
too enthusiastic.
I know.
But, all right.
Handing out
Yeah.
Jimmy Dean sausage logs.
Sausage logs.
Sausage log. A whole log of sausage. You know how the skin for the sausage that you pack is usually this big?
No, it's log
A
size.
dinosaur condom that you fill with sausage meat.
Dinosaur condom. Yes.
Tyrannosaurus! Bring it full circle.
Throw a couple of those on the fire.
Yeah. What did he say? Austin John?
Saint John. Yes. Austin
John.
Street John.
Oh, he looks weird now. Looks like a brewski.
He looks like fucking
Brewski.
Fred
Brewski.
Durst from here.
A little bit. Chocolate starfish!
Like a chainsaw. I'll skin your ass raw.
No,
Was that
no.
in the Mother Brain voice?
Oh, Mother Brain.
From, what was it, Captain N or whatever?
Cat.
Bringing it back.
Yeah. She was like
Ah!
drag queen RuPaul.
Pretty
Mother
much
Brain.
drag queen. Less RuPaul.
Yeah, I guess.
RuPaul
More
carries
campy.
herself with some dignity.
She sounded like what was
With no dignity in Mother Brain.
No, I said that's why the separation from RuPaul.
Oh.
Nightmare Before
Mm.
Christmas, Oogie Boogie, or whatever his name was.
Oh, yeah.
They sound like the same person. They
Or the
might have been
mayor.
the same. Or the mayor, yes.
The mayor, Jack, I'm only an elected official. I can't make decisions by myself.
I was sad when I was a kid. Like Captain N was so rad to me,
It was.
and I watched the hell out of it. And then I found out I had like the first issue of like Nintendo Comic Magazine or some nonsense like that. And I wish I'd kept it. I don't know where it is now.
Yeah, the
It-
very first issue of Nintendo Power.
Wow.
I don't know. It was comics. It was all like
The first one with the
There was-
claymation Mario, right?
no, it wasn't
the first
Nintendo
one?
Power. It was like there was a couple Mario comics in it. There was one based on like Mario 2 because that was new then. There was some Zelda comics and there was one.
Nestor.
Huh?
Did it have Nestor? Like the character? That was like their comic. For I'm not sure if it was
I
a
don't
mini game or
remember.
not.
It's been a while, but I know it had a Captain N story arc that just kind of happened, and Mega Man in that was replaced with Samus Aran. And what I'm like, what? I love Samus, but they were not in that story. There was just like one or two pictures with them posed instead of Mega Man there. I'm like, whoa! And then that story did not actually have either of them in it, and I was disappointed.
I loved Captain N, man. Like that was when I was a kid, and Captain N was like the greatest thing that could have come out. Like,
Motherfucker had a
That
pause
was
button.
like
He had-
genius. Like,
yeah, I mean,
whoever came up with
it's
that.
it was totally like a fantasy fulfillment for like I'm not even sure how old it was, like a 10-year-old Chris. I was totally like I started wearing Nintendo controllers around my belt. I carried a Zapper with me, and I didn't even care that they represented the characters completely
Simon was just
horribly.
like
Simon
big
was
gay
like
launch
Zach
pad.
Brannigan.
Aw,
Yeah.
Only finest velour.
Mega Man was like a plumber.
Austin St. John, born
Mega
Jason
everything.
Geiger.
Austin
St.
John. Yeah,
Born Jason, also played Jason Lee Scott as Red Ranger.
there you go. What's his status as far as participation in
In-
gay porn?
Gay porno. He's in the $6 Million Man, which is
Oh.
totally
Is that a
gay
gay
porno.
porno? Yeah.
No, it's inspired by Steve Austin from the $6 Million Man.
Goodness. He has, what's it called, a detachable penis. He got in a horrible accident. They had to rebuild his...
Can you do the
Sexual
Can you do
parts.
the sound effect? The sound effect, yeah. Whenever he would use his powers. Aaron knows.
Something like that. It's not really
It was something like that.
reproducible unless I'm that dude from like Police Academy.
You got
yeah,
Michael
Michael
Winslow.
Winslow.
Yeah.
Michael Winslow.
Nah, Winslow.
Carl Winslow.
Back to always back to family
Always
Matters.
back to Family Matters. Reggie.
He's like, dear, I have been every cop today. Please.
Reginald St. John.
Reginald.
That's Carl Winslow's real name.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No.
Reginald something.
It is. It's not Reggie.
Oh, okay. St. John is Austin St.
Austin
John.
St.
Shit.
Yeah.
Reginald something.
So fucking sure of it too. Reginald St. John.
Look it up. It's Reginald something.
It is. I'm trying to remember. Use my freaking.
He's always a cop
Memory,
in
he
everything.
He's a cop in Lethal
Even
Weapon,
in-
right? No, Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Die Hard, and maybe just 3 times, but that's enough.
Family Matters.
Okay, well, what else do you recognize? What else has he been in?
Reginald Valjean.
Jean Valjean?
Val Johnson.
Type in Carl Winslow.
Hold on, Reginald. Just Vel Johnson.
Vel Johnson.
I knew it had
What a
some
strange
foreign-
name, Vel Johnson.
Yeah.
Something with
touch.
John in there.
John Phil Johnson.
I think he just passed away, didn't he?
Oh, that's sad if he did.
Aw. Are you thinking of the...
Shit,
Uncle
I'm thinking of
Phil
James
Bel-Air?
Avery.
I heard Uncle Phil there.
James Avery.
Awkward
That
and
was
a
James.
little racist.
Just a tiny
He was
bit
a
racist.
black dad on TV.
He was a fat black dad on TV.
Black fat.
Yeah.
No, I like James. James Avery was awesome, actually. Uncle Phil was like...
He had class.
Yeah,
He's a great character.
Uncle Phil's the great. He was a Shakespearean actor in real life.
He's the classically
He
trained guy.
had
You know
been.
who else was? Mark Singer.
Michael Fass. Oh.
Beastmaster, Mark Singer. He
Nice.
was a Shakespearean actor.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then nobody would hire him because he was too good looking.
Hmm.
To
Just
be
the
in
stupidest
Shakespeare?
reason. I
That
know.
is the stupidest
I know.
reason.
I'm gonna need more
Yeah.
filth on you. You gotta be scummier.
Well, they kept
Scummy
typecasting him
LaRue.
as like the hunky person. He wouldn't get any like Shakespeare.
Is this the Beastmaster movie or the Beastmaster TV series?
movie?
Good movie. Kodo and Poto.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so sad.
What was that? When one died.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Spoilers if you
Haven't
haven't
seen
seen the
these.
movie from the
Statute of
80s,
limitations.
you know? Yeah.
I call that.
Your own fault. Yeah.
There should be a segment called Statute of Limitations where we just spoil the shit out of something and be
How
like,
long? What is the statute of limitations?
Statute of Limitations is like the fucking cutoff point where it's like,
Oh,
you
man,
should have
how
fucking
long?
seen this.
That's
What?
like how long?
Sometimes
7
it'll be a week.
years.
7 years?
I don't know.
1 week.
Does it have to? It can't be changeable.
Murder or something? I don't know.
We're talking about the limit of time that we can reasonably spoil something.
Why don't we just make
It
up
is.
a number
There's-
and let's say 5 years? Is that
5
too
years?
long? A
Okay.
week? Really? A week?
Sometimes, in some cases, it's variable.
Some people
I
took
think
a
it-
while.
You ever
to
played
read
Bioshock by
Snape
now?
Kills
Well, I'm
Dumbledore.
talking about it.
Some people took a while to read Snape Kills Dumbledore.
Can I? Could it be 2 years? Can I negotiate on this?
Dude,
Okay,
Snape kills...
I thought you
didn't,
had- was it legit?
I
You did
watched
not.
Harry Potter not too long ago, actually. I wasn't very interested in it, but then Candy and I watched it like back to back. It's pretty good.
I still remember like a video of just when people are getting their books like in line. A guy just on a megaphone just yells at them, "Attention, everyone! Snape kills Dumbledore!" And they're all just
They were
collectively
all-
like,
yeah.
"Wow!"
There was a picture
Grimace.
of a line of the same thing of people waiting in line to buy that book, and then somebody was walking down the line with a shirt that says like "Snape kills Dumbledore" on page 472 or something like that.
Dang.
And I think he got beat up.
How did they know that though? Like before everyone was lining up
Oh,
to
I
buy
don't
them,
know.
they must have been.
The internet.
Either leak or some guy who's a editor, publisher, or something probably just like, "Dang!" And then that spreads, or someone got an advanced copy and just like flipped through trying to find cool things to ruin for other people.
Say who kills Dumbledore? Because I know it's going to happen.
HarryPotterLeaks.com.
You know what else Statute of Limitations stands for? Or like the acronym?
SOL.
Oh, wow.
Too bad.
Too bad.
Ironic.
If you're not on it by now, here you are. Get on.
I think 2 years. Maybe. I guess that's fair.
I mean, a year even. Like, what came out last
so?
year? I mean,
This last year. So Last of Us, by the time The Last of Us released this next year, should you have played it?
a year
That's-
is a long amount of time. Have you played Last of Us yet?
No.
Okay.
So when your friends are talking it up and going like, "Hey, play Last of Us," and you're like, "Okay," and you put it off for a year.
What if you don't own the system
Like
that
me.
it's on? So I guess that's my problem. Yeah.
Get driven to go to a friend's house, like
Just be like,
get drive.
Just
Like,
be like, "Hey man, I need to play this at your house." Like, I don't own it. I'm like,
Well, we won't pick that as a topic.
be like, I shouldn't listen this week. They're talking about Last of Us, and I don't want to ruin it yet.
But what
No,
if
that's
one
fair.
of them
You always gotta give
also
disclaimers.
end it with SOL.
Yeah.
You got to give disclaimers.
Right.
You know, can't just start talking about how everybody dies or something. Here's the thing about Double Dragon is they might lose points because Double Dragon 5, The Shadow Falls, is based off of the shitty
You can't.
cartoon on Sundays that we all watched.
The
but it was
Shadow
horrible.
Falls.
You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about? 'Cause do you know what Double Dragon 5 on Super Nintendo?
No.
There's a fighting game, 2D fighting game, and it's based off the. You remember the cartoon? They would transform and they had the dragons on their chest.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they did. Do you remember the?
That's a guilty pleasure.
But do you remember what they said? Like their chant. It was for might, for right.
We are and double. Then they transform
Oh,
and they
that
get this
stupid cowl
shitty cowl that would still show off their chest,
Yeah,
their V-neck that
they have
they're
those
wearing.
sweet dragon.
So Double Dragon 5,
Armor
I don't know. I feel like
We
that.
can exclude that.
Yeah,
That's
We can
fan
just pretend
fiction?
like,
Fan fiction.
Well,
yeah. We'll just
if
say,
you're doing
oh
it-
yeah,
That's not
fine.
canon.
Anyway, we'll
Not
downplay
canon.
it.
Not
downplay
canon.
That's if you're doing it over. Like you keep
That was
talking
fake.
about Double Dragon 2.
Double Dragon 2 is
and
like the pinnacle.
that would
It
be
is,
like
yeah.
Macho Man in his prime.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to count. Well, Macho Man died in a car accident, so he can't beat up a Mitsubishi. Like you can't say.
All right.
What about a
that's
Dodge?
fair. We just can't talk about
Go
Double
for it,
Dragon 5. That doesn't count.
Yeah. Well,
Just pretend it
if you're
didn't
counting as 2, like 3, 4, and 5 don't count. And then at that point,
Well, maybe
Double
we
Dragon
should
and
just
Battletoads
pick
doesn't count either.
one
Oh,
era
Double Dragon and Battletoads.
Mm.
That actually helps them.
that
I
was
think.
an actual game.
That
though,
was
right?
Double Dragon
Yeah.
and Battletoads.
Double
I think.
Dragon and Battletoads, I think, aids their
They are-
omnipotence.
That is a hard game, and they are supposedly having beaten it.
They're fighting in space.
Yeah.
Outside in space in
They
Battletoads
are
and Double Dragon.
Standing
the
up
first
with
level.
chainsaw leg, like ridiculous frogs.
They're
They are
fighting
keeping-
mutants
I
at
would,
that point.
I would like to enter Scott Pilgrim, the new Scott Pilgrim game, as a contender in the
Scott
sky.
Pilgrim's great. I love
Because
Scott
it
Pilgrim.
follows the same kind of rules. I think it would be a good.
Scott Pilgrim.
I don't know if they'll beat Double Dragon, but it's a good
A
game.
powered up Scott Pilgrim has a lot of moves.
They do get pretty powerful. 'Cause
Yeah.
Gideon is a freaking insane last boss.
He is, man.
So they
Jason
have to get
Schwartzman.
pretty beefy. Jason Schwartzman. Hey, guy.
Do you think any person who brings in a third party as their supers doesn't count? Like
With
Streets of
knives?
Rage, they're bringing in knives, or in Streets of Rage when they bring in like the gun dude. Like, does that still factor in there? Can they bring
I
in
think
an
it
extra
should.
guy?
Well, see, Streets of Rage has the Streets of Rage 1 has the off-camera police car shooting shit into the.
Yeah, they stopped that, but
But
it
Streets
was
of Rage
funny.
2 doesn't have it. Yeah, Streets of Rage 2 though has they have super moves. I mean, you can do like commands, like forward attack does moves in Streets of Rage, and that's pretty cool because they didn't burn meter.
That is.
Like in Streets of Rage, you had if you pressed A, you would do a super, but it would burn life, so it was a risk reward thing. And you can also do the secret technique, which is forward attack, and it wouldn't burn yours. That's pretty cool. Double Dragon does not have that.
That makes me think, though, with input moves, what about the Marines and the Predator and the Alien vs. Predator game?
Oh shit!
Those
yeah.
were badasses.
We gotta count Lin Kurosawa
That was it.
and oh god, what's the dude with the big arm?
Fucking Meat Mug.
Meat
like,
Mug.
Lord.
That's his name. He was
His
like
name, Meat
no, it's
Mug?
Schaefer, Lieutenant Schaefer,
Yeah,
or something
It
like
was.
that.
The one with
Capcom
the
had the gun arm.
pincher or the
He had a big, like, power fist with a gun on
Capcom
it.
had some amazing,
Just like in the
pneumatic arm.
side-scrolling beat-em-ups. That game never saw console release.
Snap those
Nah, I
caps
was
off
sad.
of any drug bottle or jar.
And it really, really works. I played that in the arcade so damn much.
Yeah.
Yes.
We went on a cruise to Mexico, like, in high school, and there was an arcade there, and it had that game.
Yeah.
The entire cruise I spent getting free Shirley Temples and playing that fucking game, and...
You got
yeah.
drunk off of that and
No, they were...
the grenadine and Sprite.
Grenadine and Sprite, yeah. Towards the end of the cruise, they stopped putting, like, maraschino cherries or whatever. No, the candied cherries. Maraschino's the one.
This is stupid.
They stopped
Bring
putting
back the
cherries there. I'm like, did you guys run out of cherries? Ugh. But we had a drink card that was...
So
That was
first
their
world.
response.
that was my white
Hated
privilege.
your guts.
But anyway, I spent the entire cruise pretty much doing that and once falling off a whale.
We ran out of clean
Falling
towels
off of
5
it.
days ago on this cruise, and you're complaining about the cherries? Yeah, that's all I care about.
Well, why were you on a whale?
There was like a weird fountain thing that like had a big whale on it, and it became like they turned off the water eventually and it dried out like at certain times of the day. And it was like nighttime, and the whale had like its tail sticking up. I'm like, I think I could jump and grab that tail and maybe climb it, but the angle was like against me. So as I reached up and grabbed, my momentum took me like down against the bottom, and my forearm just kind of got swept out from under me, and I just went thud on like the tile. It knocked the wind out of me, but I was okay.
Yeah.
But because I fell off this stupid whale, as a stupid child, some other stupid children came over like, "You all right?" And that was like the first human contact I'd had the entire cruise. It was on the way back from
Nice.
Mexico, which we spent like a few hours in.
Nice. So you played a shitload of Alien vs. Predator.
Played a shitload of Alien vs. Predator.
Did you beat it? Because
Probably because I put a lot of money
Yeah,
in that.
I mean,
There's
in
no
an
way I
arcade-
didn't put more
in an
money in
arcade
to beat
game,
it.
you can't not. The only time you can't beat a game is if you run out of
run
quarters.
out of money, yeah. I also occasionally put money into the jukebox unless it's like the same 3 damn songs.
What songs?
The B-52s.
B-52s,
Hell.
Kokomo by Beach Boys. That's my favorite.
I think one was Kids Aren't Alright from fucking Offspring.
Help Me, Rhonda.
Oh, you could just play Crazy Taxi, dude.
Yes.
They didn't have to.
Okay, so
But
you
yeah.
gotta fill the void.
Fill the void of
Alright.
Offspring.
Tony Hawk, they have Offspring, right?
I only remember 2 of the songs.
Did
The
you
other one-
have the entire arcade to yourself? Like just being
there were
anxious
occasionally
fuck in
one
there
or
with a
2 other
jukebox
people,
and-
but they would like take off and do cruise things,
They
like
were on
hang
a
out,
cruise. That
was
go to
your
the
home.
go to the pool, or hang out in the sun, or look at the ocean. And I'm like, that's a lot of water.
Like a look at the sun is one of the things you
The
never
ocean
say.
doesn't have aliens versus
It does not
predators.
have any of those. No power
Come on to
loaders
our
to be
place, you
had.
can look at the sun.
I will never look at
They could have just put the arcade outside and solved everybody's problems.
There would be so much glare.
Oh, the glare factor.
Yeah, you'd have to have like shawls. You'd sit under
Yeah.
curtains, like a kissing booth or like a little photo thing.
If we include AVP, I think we have to also include The Simpsons
Simpsons is great.
and also the Uncanny
It's
X-Men.
great, but I
That's
don't
dope.
think any of them
Okay,
were
X-Men.
It
particularly
has to
good
be on
fighters. Though they did beat up
What
like
are
a
we
robot.
including it?
These are side-scrolling beat 'em ups.
It's a side-scrolling
Well, no,
game.
I know, but I mean, like, are we
In the
doing?
tournament.
Who's
Okay,
gonna win?
so that's what we're still talking
Yeah.
about.
Now we have to have.
This is
yeah, the
we've never
prize.
done tournament edition, by the way, before, so
This
this is
is-
highly experimental.
Okay.
Thinking about it though, we
Might shave
once
these
I brought
down.
up AVP and a lot of the other ones, I might want to just exclude arcades. Maybe do a different one with that because there's limitations just on the engines alone.
So
like,
home console.
yeah,
beat
like
ups.
you get to arcades, you get like the X-Men in there. Well,
Yeah. Where you
we also
have
have
like, 2 crew dudes are like, "Pat, pat, pat," and Colossus, and then everybody's dead.
yeah.
So, yeah, because if you have hella quarters, then you can just do Colossus's fucking, energy burst over and over because you don't care. Just pop into the quarter room when you run out of energy.
Yeah.
Well, or 2 crew dudes versus Jubilee. 2 crew dudes win.
I think that was Dazzle.
That's Dazzler.
Was it Dazzler?
Yeah.
It was Dazzler.
It was like pretty much Jubilee, but not.
Right.
Dazzler.
Those, I count them
It's
as
like
the same
alternate
person.
costume Jubilee.
No, Jubilee did fireworks.
I know.
And
which-
Dazzler did like legit like energy projection.
Yeah, she was bad in it.
But not like
It wasn't great.
Gambit energy projection.
It wasn't. Gambit does kinetic.
He does.
Kinetic.
Kinetic, yeah.
You can't include X-Men. Well, how about
Or Nightcrawler.
non-licensed?
non-licensed.
Non-licensed
Unless they become
size.
their own license.
Unless
label.
they, well, yeah, unless they. I mean, like originally they were a side-scrolling, like X-Men wasn't.
Yeah.
And neither was.
Yeah.
Like Alien vs Predator. Well, the characters were because Kurosawa and Schaefer weren't in anything else.
Yeah, they
They've
weren't.
never
The,
been in
the
anything
Predators is
else.
kind of
Actually,
just a thing.
Although-
Kurosawa was the inspiration for Ibuki in Street Fighter 3.
Alien Hominid versus Castle Crashers.
There you go. How many Castle
Castle
Crashers?
Crashers.
How many alien?
All 4?
You have one alien hominid.
Any one of them. He dies like Contra dies.
But he has a gun.
He dies like Contra dies.
He has
That's
a
health.
gun. The Castle Crashers can't get to the gun.
There's
They
like, I
have-
played as the green guy. He shot poison everywhere.
Yeah, do you have shield? Do you have block in that game? You do.
I don't know.
I
I don't
use
block
it.
in those games.
Block?
I shoot poison everywhere.
What's the block button? There's only ever use for a block button on one game.
What's
And
that?
that's Double Dragon, so you can counter.
There's a block button on Double
Yeah.
Dragon? You love Double Dragon 4.
You keep going to these
Is that
advanced,
four?
these
Yeah.
advanced
Super
Double
Double Dragon?
Dragons.
Is that the only Double Dragon you've played?
No.
But that's
I
your
played the
favorite
new
clearly.
one too, and I didn't.
Double Dragon Neon?
Yeah.
Double Dragon Neon's a lot better than you might give it credit for.
I didn't like
I can
it.
show you.
Okay.
It was pretty cool.
Now.
Double
Match.
Dragon Neon is not phenomenal, but it's got a really
Oh
cool...
my God.
I'll play it with you. again.
That company that makes Double
Skeleton.
Dragon Neon is like one of my favorite companies that exists.
Who was that?
Way Forward.
Way forward. They make a
Yeah.
whole bunch of cool
They
stuff.
make all the 2D
especially
stuff.
recently.
Yeah, all the 2D stuff. They're holding it down for 2D still. And I like that.
2D.
Yeah. 2D.
Did you just get it?
Yeah.
That's one of those throw your head backs and guffaw.
Layers upon layers.
One layer.
One layer laid on top of itself. It's like a second one, just a duplicate.
Like a shitty frosting that doesn't cover much of
Just
the
more.
cake. It's more of like a slightly sugary spread.
It's not good, so use more of it.
Double Dragon.
Double Dragon Neon should have been in 2D. I think that was its biggest. It wasn't though, because Way Forward specializes in doing 2D games, and that was their like.
What
As
was
far
it?
as I know, it was their first 3D.
What was their other
side-scrolling.
game this year? They had two that came
Well,
out.
they do all the they do Adventure Time. They do regular show.
That was it, the Explore the Dungeon for, because I don't know.
Yeah.
And that was their second exploration into 3-ish D. But it was like gauntlet style.
Yeah.
Kind of pull like.
yeah.
I saw that game and I like Adventure Time, but it was rather expensive for what I looked at. Like I was
There's
going
two
to.
versions.
It'll go down quickly. The
There's
first
two
one did.
versions. Of the new game, there's a collector's edition that's like $50, and then there's just the normal one that's like $29.99.
Collector's only for 3DS.
It's still like $30. That thing's on
you're
like
talking about for Steam, right?
yeah, it's on
Okay.
handheld, but it's still like $30 for the PC.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
what is this?
It
This
is.
looks simple. Oh, it's also for like 3DS.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure if we've gotten spoiled or what from Steam, but if something comes out on Steam for like $30, you're like, get the hell out of here.
You better be good.
$30
Where's your names? Give me the big names.
for a Steam game, unfortunately, unless it's something special. I don't
Even
know,
for
it
a
feels-
AAA ass title, where you're
'Cause
just
the
like,
problem is
new
you know-
Bioshock Infinite this
Yeah.
year, buy it for $60. I'll buy it for $5 in 4 months.
In 45 minutes, this game is going to be $7.20.
Yes.
And I'm going to wait. Bioshock Infinite now is like easily under $10 all day. It's
Yeah.
free on PlayStation Plus, actually.
They're trying to
Wow.
get it, yeah.
Yeah.
PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Always a good deal. Joe Montana and Dan Marino fight.
Joe Montana?
Sure.
Joe Montana is Fat Tony, right? From The Simpsons.
Is he? He voiced Fat Tony?
Somebody from some Montana is Fat Tony. It is Joe
I
Montana.
think there's only one Montana. I think it's Joe. Hannah Montana.
Oh no.
Where she's extra Italian. Hey, I got a double life going on here. I'm a pop star.
Yeah, it's Joe Montana
Is this
Yeah, Fat Tony. from The Simpsons.
Fat Tony.
Versus Double Dragon.
Hannah Montana. For Double Dragon, how do we start this out? Who do they verse? Who do they versus?
I think the most obvious is
Final fight.
Final Fight or Streets of Rage, but
Yeah.
Final Fight versus Double Dragon would be better because they're more like the characters are more iconic in Final Fight. I feel than Streets. Well, I don't know. Streets of Rage. I love
Double Dragon is-
have fond memories of Streets.
Double
of Rage.
Dragon has died. Not died. I mean, it's living on in Neon, but it has dwindled.
Streets of Rage
Whereas
is
Hagar is like back with a
Final
vengeance. They
Fight.
brought Cody
Well, they're back because of fighting games.
because of fighting games. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Double Dragon has not lived on like they have.
They should add.
Their legacy is more alive than Double Dragon's.
But
is.
I mean, if you think about it, Double Dragon has had a dedicated side-scrolling beat 'em up more recently than Final Fight has.
That's true.
Final Fight hasn't had the last Final Fight game was Final Fight Streetwise, and it didn't even star any of the main characters. It starred Cody's younger brother.
Billy
Remember that on
Lee.
PS2? It wasn't that
No.
great.
No.
It's called Streetwise, and I forget Cody's younger brother's name, but you're his younger brother, and it's not that great. But
As far as a traditional Final Fight game, I mean, the last one was Final Fight 3, and that only had Guy, and it didn't have Cody and Hagar, and it had Guy, a new chick, and a new girl.
We've all begun to hunch. This is serious.
Dean, Lucia, and Guy. Those were the main characters. And
Do you call her Lucia?
what'd you call her?
Lucia.
Which
This is going to be a pronunciation game this
Yeah.
entire podcast. And I mean the life of the podcast, not just this one.
Double Dragon Neon had a more recent, was a more recent dedicated game for them. But if you're just going classic, Double Dragon 2 and 3 and 4, because you love 4 and 1.
I love
music.
So 1 through
4 was
4,
golden, man.
essentially.
4 was
Four-
pretty good.
Just excluding 5.
I mean,
much.
it's,
There is no 5.
Yeah.
There's no 5. There's a lot of, that could
He's
be a topic-
excluding canon.
That could be
No.
another topic, like games that should be excluded from series, because like I can think of a couple.
Yeah. No, it was 3D art. There you go.
Super Noah's 3D.
Yeah, you like
It was
shot
for
a hell
Super
of like
Nintendo.
beans at goats and put them to sleep.
You shoot, yeah.
Something like that.
There's a problem with that arc. It's got like 600 goats. It's not what the new world needs.
Maybe obscure games too, because it was one that there was you wouldn't think so, but the Christian game community had like 3 or 4 like
NES.
hits out for NES.
Yeah.
Spiritual
Yeah.
Warfare.
Bible
That game was
Buffet.
rad.
And Bible Adventures.
Bible Adventures was okay. It's like the
Wasn't as good as
They're
Bible
okay.
it
Buffet.
wasn't because the Noah thing where you had to like pick up a sheep and then like you stack a cow on a sheep and you're like sitting there running back to the ark. Hilarious.
I like your 8-bit run.
Thanks. That's what he did. Like watch him doing this like a little.
Game and Watch.
It was fairly Game and Watch. But Spiritual Warfare was right. How far did you go in that?
Oh man,
Tell me you beat that like twice.
I don't think I ever beat it. But it's been like 25 years.
You're missing out, brother. That game was like, okay, so crappiest like obscure offshoot of whatever games that are like, oh, for the Christian market, kids need NES representation. That game was like legitimately better than a lot of games I played on NES. Don't give me Roslyn face. It was great.
No, I'm saying that's
Spiritual
sad.
Warfare was the best of them. But
The 4, no, it was so good. It was so good. That game was such fun. Even like
You've seen it
ignoring
from
any of the
habit.
rhetoric that comes from the game, like the mechanic of the game was so good. Sadly, I don't think I have anymore. I lament that.
Just Bible Adventures.
Boom! I think I
it's
still have that
Legacy of
one.
the Wizard. I was looking for that the whole time.
Yes. I still have my cartridge of that. Pretty happy about that too. Legacy. Did you ever play that?
No.
Dude, man, that's one of the underrated ones that could go on top 5. Is man, dude, that game was like you could switch between 5 people, right? Brother, sister, mother, father, and dog
In
or
what?
dragon. Legacy of the Wizard.
And
And you can go between them. The dog could fly, or the dragon could fly. Whatever it was like a little pet thing. It's like a pink puff,
Critter.
not Kirby, but like a little
Thing.
more shapen than Kirby.
Okay.
And you could fly all over the map with it, but you can't be hit and you can't hit. You're just a spectator at that point. So you can explore new regions. You have to figure out how to get there with the rest of the family. The dad can like move blocks the other people can't.
So is this a puzzle game? Is this an adventure game? What?
Yes, it's like a
Okay.
puzzle platformer kind of. How would you describe that?
Legacy of the Wizard?
Legacy Wizard. That's so
There's
underrated.
platforming for sure, because you do jump.
Yes.
You enter doors, you have to figure out... I mean, it's a puzzle in the sense that you have to figure out how to progress, but it's not like puzzle like,
It is.
like a Tetris or anything.
It's like Spelunky, actually.
I haven't played Spelunky yet. I bought it,
Okay.
but I haven't played
A
it.
lot too. I'm really bad at it.
I'm really bad at it. I haven't passed the... They have like World 1, 1.2, 1-2. I haven't gone past 1-2. I'm
I
really
think I got
bad.
2 or past 1-3, and then
Ugh.
it's hard.
I'm
It
sorry,
makes you
dude.
want to go fast, but going fast kills you. But
It
going
does.
slow kills you.
And
So
going
you-
slow gets you a horrible score. So there's almost
and
no point
gets
in
you
going
chased
slow.
by a ghost.
Learn how to go fast, but yeah. Going fast is there's so many things waiting for you. There's no way to find out how to not to... Like, there's an arrow, but you'll never know there's an arrow unless you're like zipping past and you're like running, and then the arrow just...
You're fast? I thought you're a little like Indiana Jones guy.
Yes, when they introduce the sprint button to you,
Uh-huh.
this is the same level they introduced the ghost to you, so you're like, oh man, there's only 30 seconds remaining on this level. And then death comes like 20 seconds
What
later.
was that?
That's the sound of the ghost.
That's the lament of the undying.
And it's horrid, and it's just like, what the hell was that? The first time, and then this like a specter thing kind of flobs onto screen, and then you're like,
Music
oh,
gets all slow
crap.
and everything starts going grayscale, and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, and you're like, this doesn't look good. So you go over and you try to whip it, and it goes like, you're like, well,
You can
I
whip
guess
it?
I just have to. Oh, no,
Oh.
that was you try to
Kills
whip
you.
it, and it kills you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what? I just ran from him.
You should. You have
Yeah.
to.
I did not see the giant ghost as being a thing I could fight with all that ceremony around it. I just didn't even try. It's like a giant boo. Yeah, just, nope. Nope the fuck out of that castle.
Yes. Nope. The fuck.
Nope. That was for what was that game? Was that Amnesia 2 that they did a gift for? It's not Kotaku.
War or machine for bigs.
Yeah, I think it was Amnesia or it was Outlast. But either way, they had this video where like they kept going into rooms, something would happen, and then it just pause and say nope, and they back up. And they did it like on the whole game. Well, I don't think we're gonna
Particularly
figure out who's gonna win.
Double Dragon.
I think
Is there
since
a-
we keep going to Double Dragon, I think Double Dragon just takes it.
I'm.
We gotta have a
That
reason
can't-
though. Double Dragon wins by
Default.
because we can't finish the conversation.
Cody wears a whole shirt.
It's way more fun to play.
Cody
Yeah.
has sleeves. Okay.
Well,
that's-
and the things that we talked about, like their lineage, kind of passing on, it became irrelevant. So because it's not qualifiable by
They're still-
grittiness
Okay.
of fight. You know.
In Double Dragon 2, if you have 2-player, and you can do the trick where you can get more lives
Yep.
if you kill. Can you do that in Final Fight?
No.
Okay,
You
then
can
Double
steal
Dragon wins.
lives.
Yes, you become
Double
stronger.
Dragon
you can make
wins
yourself
because you can kill your brother and
exactly
steal his ass.
and
Only in
become
Game
strong.
Gear,
It's
yeah.
like fucking
That's
Highlander.
no,
That is
that's how
true,
you-
yeah.
Yeah,
that's how you. That's
There
how
can
you
only be
beat that
two
game. Can't beat
brothers.
that game without doing that because we talked about earlier
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
the final boss just is fucking unstoppable unless you have just a myriad of lives to throw. You have the Zap Brannigan thing where you just throw dead bodies at it so long that he reaches his kill limit and eventually shuts off.
Fucking that damn like pagoda palace with disappearing platforms
Yeah.
and spikes everywhere. That
Oh
totally
my
life.
gosh! If you ever
Screw
made it
that.
to the last,
That's
boss,
another
Jesus.
reason why Double Dragon wins.
Yep.
They can platform.
Oh, yeah. They also
can't-
have those stupid conveyor belts.
Yeah, they have a
That's
hard
true.
platforming level. Not only can they like it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up, and it has platform, but it has like the most difficult fucking platforming level.
So
of
it's the
game.
fact that you can platform, because you could platform on Final Fight, correct?
No,
Can you not jump?
You could jump, but there's no platforms to jump on.
Well, right, but I mean,
You
they
could jump to jump attack.
say they were. I just got a sweet view of like
That was my jump attack.
foot. Yeah, I got like a front cover of a video game. Like, it was great.
Wasn't there like
Perspective.
a tank that like brought two of the stick guys in and like it
And
shot
then
out steam
Arnold
and stuff?
Schwarzenegger.
That's
Like,
what he was talking about.
There was
You
there's
fight
no
Arnold
sense in
Schwarzenegger.
that, but I mean, it's great. Like, who fucking cares? It's ridiculous, but that's another reason why it wins. Like, Final Fight isn't even memorable. Like, I don't remember anything that happens in that game. So.
Double Dragon's more iconic. I think it hit more people.
Exactly.
Everybody talks about it.
Well, Double Dragon I would give it to, but Final Fight's very iconic for me at least. I don't know. I'm a big fighting game player, and like those characters keep showing up, and so
that's why I say they live on, man.
Yeah, I still get to play as Cody
Other
Guy and
games.
Hager.
Double Dragon had a fighting game, yeah?
Yes, they've had 2.
Ninja
They have
Turtles had a
3
fighting game.
technically.
Ninja
Turtles
Turtles
have
Turtles
fighting
did have
Ninja
a
Turtles
fight.
had
Mighty
They have
Morphin
20
Power Rangers had a
They
fight.
have tournament fighters.
Yeah, that. Just thinking of that fighting now. They had some
Didn't they have
stupid
two
throwaway
Power Rangers?
characters in both of those.
Power Rangers
They had a beat 'em up at a fighter.
They had 2 beat 'em ups and 1 fighter.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, not unless you're counting the new like PS2 Power Ranger games, but like the classic stuff.
Classic
there was
stuff.
Power Rangers, the side-scrolling beat 'em up. There was Power Rangers, the movie, the side-scrolling beat 'em up, and it was a different game, but it's super similar.
Right.
And then Power Rangers, the fighting edition, and it was actually really good.
Where's the Dances with Wolves video game?
right.
Is there a
Convince
Last of the
Kunstner.
Mohicans video game?
Huh?
Is there a Last of the Mohicans video game?
No, but
No.
there should be.
There
Last of
also
Mohicans versus Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
Theoretical.
Video game.
Who would win in a fight now?
Kevin Costner.
Convince Kunstner.
Kevin's Constant.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
He's
Really?
He's Waterworld.
Are you kidding?
It's hard to say, but
Who's
No.
won more Oscars?
is he gonna act his
Who's a
way out of
better
this fight?
actor?
Yeah.
Is that probably Daniel Day-Lewis? That's
Yeah,
gotta
that's
win more from
definitely-
I can't remember Costner
Have
ever
you
winning.
seen There Will Be
Costner-
Blood? Come on now.
What's Kevin Costner's most badass role? Period.
Waterworld.
Waterworld.
He was good. He was like a scrappy in Waterworld.
So then you take Waterworld versus what's Daniel Day-Lewis's most badass?
He was in
That's
Gangs of New
hard.
York.
Bill
He
the
wasn't.
Butcher.
Oh
Or-
shit.
He was hardcore.
Daniel
I
Day-Lewis
was-
Like hardcore
yeah.
Irishman in
Daniel
Gangs of New
Day-Lewis
York.
is the badass.
He would fucking.
He would murder
Kevin
Costner. I'm sorry. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, you should be
Costner's
sorry.
too much of a boy.
Never
Wow.
mind.
Should think these things through.
I didn't even too much of a
Yeah.
Kevin Costner is
Kevin
Kevin
Costner
Costner's Superman's dad, though. Most
So is
recently.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. Oh yeah, you're right.
His- his
Russell Crowe
Gladiator
versus
and
Kevin Costner.
Waterworld are both.
Russell Crowe plays badass roles that I don't believe him in.
You don't
Yes,
believe him in
that is
Gladiator?
so true.
I don't think I see him as the ultimate. Like other people, Fassbender included, would beat the shit out of Russell
he
Crowe. I
would.
think.
Fassbender's
So true.
also badass.
Yeah. Wasn't very scrappy as Magneto, but I just think he's like more.
He's got a
Capable.
commanding presence.
So much so that you would just think he would win
Just
in
like
fights.
yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd fight him based off of looking at how he's glaring at me.
Right.
Well, he's physically fit,
Yeah.
and you know
Very
he
strong,
can be
square
very
jaw.
creepy. He's like what's his name in Prometheus when he played the android. I thought that was
David.
creepy. Yeah,
He
super full
was.
of creepy.
Although he had robotic strength in that one, but
He did.
we'd
Yes.
have to do character analysis on that one and not.
Fassbender over Russell Crowe.
I think
Yeah.
so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
He's younger, so
I
maybe
really
he's more
like
like.
Gladiator.
It was good.
But yeah,
Actually, that's probably his most believable role for me too.
that was
Yeah.
the
Robin
Robin
Hood is
Hood. I think.
kinda
Right?
What
weak
else has he
sauce.
been in?
Robin Hood.
I didn't see that new Robin Hood actually. It's the new one, right?
Yeah.
I guess I just don't understand why he's like a star. Is it just because of Gladiator?
Russell
Crowe?
Crowe. I
Yeah.
don't think he's a solid actor.
Was he in stuff before Gladiator
He
though? Or was
probably
that his kind of his
was.
debut?
I think that was his breakout role. I
Breakout
don't think it was his first movie. I can't confirm.
He's got that grizzled beard with the sad eyes. And
You know what? He's
it
not-
drives
he's-
women crazy.
You know who he was replaced with? He was replaced with Gerard Butler.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
So some
300
people you
guy.
think are a total badass, like Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler is now
He is
a
not a
more
badass,
powerful.
though.
Is he not?
Russell
No.
Crowe. He's 300.
He is, but
He's Leonidas.
but if you see him like outside of 300,
He's
you're
also
just
a
like,
gamer.
Fan of
you
the
Western
manscape
gamer.
yourself. You're not very tough, are you?
He's also in Olympus Has Fallen with Morgan Freeman.
That's true.
He's also in
Fan of the opera.
Machine Gun Preacher. He is.
He was. That was a
Machine Gun-
depressing ass film.
Um,
But he was pretty badass in that.
he's
He staved off warlords, like Ethiopian warlords or whatever, from destroying an orphanage twice.
Oh, so it's like a serious movie.
Yes, it was like
Oh.
true to life. Like it's
Because it
following
makes me
somebody's
think
life.
of like some kind of
Like
Machete.
Campy,
like
yeah.
Hobo with a shotgun.
Yeah. Yes,
Machine Gun
yes,
Preacher, Nuns
exactly.
with boners or whatever. I don't know.
Nuns with boners.
Yeah.
Nuns with boners.
One of my
Nuns with
favorites.
boner
That sounds like
nuns.
a porno,
Interesting.
but
But
like a
you would
good
think
porno.
so, but it's not.
okay.
Sounds like the best part.
That should be a category.
That's not a yardstick.
Game,
Oh.
Nice.
game names that could be pornos.
Yes.
That'd be a category.
Game names that could be
You
pornos.
can go silly with Double Dragon.
Double Dragon. There
Yeah.
you go.
Could be silly with that. Yeah.
This could actually be a really good one.
Yeah.
That's good.
I gotta think of some of those. Now.
Right.
Yeah.
Princess
Yeah.
Tomato in the Salad Kingdom.
Porno gone bad. I don't know.
Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That wins. Officially the
And
winner.
we just did that one.
Oh, that's
Yes,
funny.
wow.
It's funny because I've been on a Sega collecting binge lately. Like I've been filling up like the Saturn and Sega CD stuff. I built the Megazord of Sega consoles, the Sega CD 32X with Sonic and Knuckles and a game on top of that.
Yes.
But I've been like looking for Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine lately. And,
Have you?
Bringing it around. Closing the circuit.
Yeah,
Altered Beast.
Altered Beast.
it's a good one.
That's the transvestite film.
Or
Manhunt.
maybe it changes in the middle. Manhunt,
Yeah.
kind of a given.
Mm-hmm. That's the gay porn.
That's the game.
That's a game
How
porn.
about
you don't
Manhunt.
say.
hold on? How about Front Mission?
Goodness. Anything else?
I don't know. I didn't even know we were recording up until like half
Yeah.
an hour ago.
See?
Yeah.
But no,
Straight Ozymandias up in here.
I know, dude. Manipulation.
You didn't know I'd nuked the world until 35 minutes into my monologue.
Wow.
That's how I do it.
Well, I think if we make
Spoilers.
a show roll,
We should
then
watch.
it'll be fine.
That's for the
Yeah,
SOL cast.
statute of limitations.
Yeah, the Watchmen is out. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that book-
way out the window.
Don't tell them what it's from.
All right.
That's the
That's the spoiler.
No.
Shit.
shit. Ozymandias.
I thought the movie was super good.
Yeah.
That
good.
Zack Snyder. You want to talk about
That Zack Snyder.
directors
He's
that I enjoy? I enjoy Zack Snyder.
One
Every-
hot
you clearly
piece
like
of
300.
ace.
Now, if they had Capoeira in 300,
Mark
Yes.
Dacascos should have been
different outcome.
Xerxes.
No.
Carl was
no.
Mark Dacascos sitting up on his throne and goes like, "The secret ingredient is death," and he sends everybody after the Spartans into the hot pass.
So then he backhand springs down the stairway.
Exactly.
Giant golden stairway
Into a
carried by
backflip.
slaves.
Missing the oysters narrowly.
The oysters.
And sped up.
Yes.
Oh, man. Zack Snyder does like cinematic photography that blows my mind. I feel that he gets like the best camera angles from any given. I don't know. I like the way he shoots. Man.
No lens flares like J.J. Abrams.
I'm not a huge J.J. Abrams fan,
No.
but that's not true because I did
No
like the Star Trek movies.
over explosions like
I don't like
Mr.
Michael
Bay.
Bay. No,
Michael
Michael
Bay.
Bay kind of pisses me
I
off.
think he's just trying to live up to his stereotype now.
Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Did you see Michael Bay at the Sony press conference during CES?
No.
He literally goes up there and
He's trying to read off a cue card, and he's stumbling through it, and he's like, "This cue card's all messed up. I'm just gonna wing it." And so he starts talking like half a sentence in, and he just stops, and he's like, "I'm sorry," and just walks off stage. And everybody thought it's got to be a joke, but no, it totally wasn't a joke. Like Michael Bay shit the bed.
Michael Bay, everyone.
Shit the bed.
Yeah, that's literally what happened. You're like, "Thanks,
Michael
Michael
Bay.
Bay." And it's like, yeah, they
The
move
guy comes
on.
up. All right, so well, now we got 40 minutes to fill.
Yeah, so just sit here and sign. We're gonna have magazine time. You guys can go ahead and
SSR. Silence.
SSR.
Oprah style, if you'll look under your seats, everybody has a copy of highlights that you can peruse for the next
See what Goofus
40
and
minutes
Gallant are
until-
up to.
Yeah. See if you can find what's different between the two
Exactly
panels.
what I was thinking of.
You know.
Yeah.
You went to a dentist office.
I did.
so-
you went to
Good
Doctors in America.
Yeah.
Have you guys played through Grand Theft Auto 5 at all?
Not all the way through, but I'm about halfway through. I like that game.
I like that game too. That
It
game
was a surprise. I posted that as my surprise. I didn't think I was going to like it because I
You
don't like
did.
any of the other ones, and
You did, and
damn it, it proved me wrong.
I didn't play through 4, but I played through San Andreas and Vice City, and 5 was totally, to me, lived up to the hype.
I talked a lot of shit too because I was playing Sleeping Dogs for that year.
Yeah.
I was like, this is way better than any Grand Theft Auto 4 shit or anything.
scope-
5 blew me away.
Yeah, the scope of 5 dwarfs Sleeping Dogs.
It does. Even though I like Sleeping Dogs.
Sleeping
I
Dogs is
want
a
the
fine
hand-to-hand
game.
mechanic. I love
Fine
Batman.
Batman ripped off Sleeping Dogs, if you ask me. What came first, actually? Because that might be a
I
false
think
statement.
Arkham Asylum
Yeah.
came before Sleeping
Maybe it
Dogs,
did.
and then
The Wei Shen or the Wayne?
the Wayne Chan. There it is. He trained in Asia.
He did. With Wei Shen and his police
Sleeping
department.
Dogs is secretly a Batman game.
Funded by the Wayne Corporation.
Year -1.
So we go back.
Yeah, before
To
year
Asia.
0.
She
Who
stole
went in
your
a-
purse, baby.
I was wondering if you ever got out.
Oh, you took a nap in
Yeah.
there
Like bedhead.
She was sleeping in there.
the whole time. It's like a baby. You don't remember them until they wake up. You're just like, is that where you've been the
You don't
whole
remember
time?
him until they wake up.
I should clearly never be a father.
Oh, kid. I forgot about that.
You're just wrapped up in playing Grand Theft Auto 5. And, like, the baby, that's
I can't
right.
pause
That
this.
thing.
Grand Theft Auto was so good.
I can't pause the baby.
No,
No, like, hold on.
Oh, Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5 would be good for Who Would Win in a Fight. Because he's nutsos.
Oh, I like Trevor a lot. He's
But he doesn't think... I like Lamar.
Lamar.
Hella funny.
Lamar's funny.
Ryan from Fistful loves Wade for some reason.
Really?
It's because he's a bumbling idiot, and you don't. He's got like this ICP stuff on. You expect him to be so hard, but he's just like, "I did Trevor, I didn't mean it now." And
Yeah.
just like,
He's Trevor's bitch. She's like,
and it's hella funny because it's
Yeah.
not expected.
no.
But the character is
Super
pretty funny.
Yeah, funny and the dialogue's very believable.
Yeah.
Even though it's over the top. It's done very well.
Pen and paper D&D is one facet of nerddom I've never.
You gotta play it.
We'll
Yeah,
fix
you
you
play
on that
Shadows
one.
Over Mistar or see the movies with the Wayans brother. That's
The Wayans brother. I've never even seen that movie.
Waylon?
No,
Wayland?
Wayland Wayans. That Wayland Wayans.
What's his name?
His name's Marlin.
The Ugly Wayne.
I
Otherwise known
wish
as
it
the
was
Ugly
Wayland.
Waylon Wayans.
Jennings. Wayans.
Wayland's the sibling that didn't get to act because no one took him.
Wayland.
It's just his name is too confusing. There's too much alliteration. You don't get to be an acting brother.
Don't Be a Menace, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I was thinking of. the whole-
Don't Be a Menace is
Just- yeah.
the title.
That's
the rest of it,
that's the
like,
official
disappeared.
shorthand version of that movie.
Don't be a
Yeah.
menace to Keenan Ivory.
Don't Be a Menace to Wayland.
To Waylon Wayans.
No, but that was their
Waylon Ebony Wayans.
Ebony.
Don't Be a
Wow.
Menace is
It's
classic.
Ivory. Wow.
I
Keenan
get it.
Ivory.
I see what you did
I
there.
should have
Wayland,
going
Ebony.
the other.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because Keenan is the opposite of Wayland.
Yes, definitely. One is like keen, like
Yeah,
the edge of a
if you're
sword.
Keenan, then you're clearly the opposite of Waylon. Yes.
I'll buy it.
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
sell it.
I'll buy that
You'll buy it for a high
for
price.
$1.
Buy it for a high
RoboCop.
I'll buy it at a high price.
You think they're gonna have them? I'll buy it for $1 guy.
I'll buy that for $1.
I hope so. I think there will be a reference.
Do you think Red Foreman's gonna be in the RoboCop?
No.
Okay.
It should
Is it
be.
because he is dead?
Kind of. And I don't know. There were other RoboCops that he didn't take part in, so I don't
He's
think they
dead.
would give him a.
He's
He actually
real
dead?
He's real dead in the RoboCop movies.
In the Robo.
I mean,
not, yeah,
the-
not.
Oh no, not in real life.
The guy, like,
No.
I didn't think
He
this
did
was
that-
like a sequel to RoboCop, so I don't think they would have to like worry about the fact
I
that
don't
that
think it's a
character's
sequel.
dead.
I just want a lot of old RoboCop in there. I want the chick.
Maybe.
Well, I forget the girl's name.
Oh,
I love her though, and I want Red Foreman.
Kurtwood Smith.
Kurtwood Smith is Red Foreman's real name. Yeah,
Oh, that guy, yeah, 70s show guy.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's the main bad guy in RoboCop 1.
That's right. I
he
remember
will
that.
always be Red Foreman.
He's
However,
Red Foreman, yeah. And his son is Eric Foreskin.
And Dr. Peepee.
Dr. Peepee.
He
Professor
was.
Brownbottom. That's Kelso.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's a good show.
Glory has a tail.
You ever Professor Brownbottom tail? Oh, I thought you were pointing at her saying she has a tail.
No, Lori has a tail.
Oh,
Where
Lori
after it's
has
like
a tail.
Dr. Peepee, and then he goes, Lori has a tail, and then everybody
That
she
wins.
freaks out. Yeah,
Because she's literally a devil, a demon now, right?
she gets stymied at that, and she and leaves the room.
Actually, that actress is really dead.
Is she
What?
seriously?
Yeah, she really is.
How'd she
From
die?
'70s show, the sister.
Yeah. Lori, she's totally dead. She died
it
from
drugs?
drug overdose, yeah.
Oh man,
Um,
heavy.
that was last year. That was,
Heavy
that was
metal.
2013.
So that's been MultiTap, kids. We hope you enjoyed it this week.
Lori
because
dies. Spoiler.
Just wait for the SOL segment to find out who else dies.
So don't
Because
do drugs,
people
kids.
die all the
That was
fucking
2013,
time.
You gotta have an intro and an outro.
And this could be the outro. If no one's opposed.
Yeah.
This is what we are saying in this moment right now. Our words being captured in real time could definitely be the outro. Why are we hunched over? So we're just
Our
Well,
spine.
we've
It's
been
like a
sitting for a long time.
powwow
Yeah.
like this, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just realized we outro the show. We don't have like a mailbag or anything for people to write like this sucked or anything. We have a mail demon at
That way you can-
MultiTap stuff.
Lori has a tail at. That's actually not a
Just
bad.
Reginald Fell.
Reginald
has a
Velch.
tail.
That's not a bad email address. At,
I'm a
Just Billy Z Pizza.
Billy Z Pizza. Yeah, there you go.
Sounds
Like
a
Billy's
name.
Pizza?
Oh, I hope he doesn't really work there. It's gonna make me feel bad because he was the smart one.
Billy's Pizza. I love it. That has to be a real thing. That's our
It's the
our
name-
mailbag.
What's the name of his new sitcom?
Yeah,
I like it.
this is all staying on, by the way.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah,
editing
no.
shit
editing.
this time around. This is-
Raw.
yeah.
Raw dog it.
Bro.
Double Dragon versus
Pilot episode is
Will it
named
ever
Raw
end
Dog.
at Gmail.
Barebackcast.net.
There you go.
.net.
Yeah.
A Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
That's the cover.
Is this a wrap?
Sounds like a
Yeah.
think so.
This will serve as a good night, folks, and next week or next month. Whatever else we do.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Next time.
Until next time.
You're the pilot of this dream ship here, so
We're going down.
you say,
You're the pilot of this here Challenger.
yeah.
Sure.
So you gotta lead us out, man.
Yeah.
Was that not it?
No.
No. It's gotta be better. Silence! No, it can't be that.
I think you gotta thank people. And
If you made it this far, thank you.
That's true.
Yeah.
6
This
p.m.
is the end of the show. Thank you to everybody who's listened so far, whether it be 8 people, which is generous, or 65 people, which is desirable.
It's pretty. That's our target, 65.
I know at least
Mission
65 people on
accomplished.
Facebook.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I don't know. They might listen. They might have listened.
Cool.
I'm hoping we'll go beyond your friends on
I
Facebook.
intend to spam this on the internet in general.
This one?
Sure.
Okay.
This is the pilot. I'll edit it.
All right.
This will have been
Just got
edited
some
by the
part.
time it's
Just have some work to be done.
65 people.
Cool.
If anybody has any questions, email us at an email we don't have yet.
On a Twitter account we haven't created yet.
My personal email that I
Just
won't
say-
give you. You could type in on the Facebook page because I know I Totes McGoats made one of those, but it's not really like it doesn't have a picture yet, so don't get turned off.
By the time this is uploaded, we will have a Facebook and a Twitter.
What you
That's
could
true.
do is just have that as part of the outro. Like, if you enjoyed the show, hit us up on Twitter, blah, 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 whatever, as part of the outro. And so every time they listen to the show, if we forget to say it during the show or something, it's right there.
Have an
This is the
outro.
breaking of the fourth wall because then they will have heard that and then it will have
We'll
come
edit
to
this
pass.
part out.
I won't.
No, yeah, I forgot. I forgot. Raw dogging it.
This is-
Yeah. Oh, well.
you forgot raw footage,
I
sir.
forgot, yeah.
The door opening before and everything. That's
Yeah.
This is in. That's in.
All right.
And it's too late now because I can still edit it, but I've made up my mind.
All right.
No.
You said I was the pilot.
You made up your mind to not edit it?
This Hindenburg is.
Wait, are you
Salem.
seriously not going to edit this?
I don't know.
You did.
No, I will be. This will be edited.
Okay.
I don't know about this part. This was funny, but this podcast will have been edited. So when I almost said customers, I work too much retail. When listeners hear this will have been in, but the podcast will have been grossly
I think
tweaked with. That's the end.
Yep.
Cue outro.
There you go.
We got loud somewhere in there.
We got loud as shit in other places.
Thus concludes the MultiTap broadcast. Gramercy to every listener, and many welcome returns. If so led, the hosts encourage 5-star ratings and reviews on iTunes. If you should like to contact the hosts of MultiTap, or give general public comment, they may be reached by way of Facebook at MultiTap Podcast, Twitter at MultiTap Podcast, or personal phone number, which they wisely refuse to give publicly. MultiTap is made possible in part by Fistful of Potions and viewers like you. We shall return, as scheduled, in MultiTap Theatre.